Terry McLaurin is requesting a trade. Isaac Tesla, potentially the last time you can get him in the 18th round. The NFL Hall of Fame game is on right now, and there's some moving parts. There's some interesting things going on. Is Will Dissly going to be relevant for the Chargers in 2025? How about Kamani Vidal? What about a little rookie wide receiver that goes by the name of what does he go by the name of? I just had it up, and just like that, the box score went missing. Who are we talking about here? It's Kamani Vidal, Keandre Lambert Smith, KLS. You've seen the name. Maybe you haven't drafted him yet. Maybe you will start clicking him in round 18. We'll see. All that and more tonight. We're drafting best ball teams. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Garage. I'm Chris. My friends call me the Candyman. And we're doing some Best Ball Mania drafts tonight. The contest is just past 50% filled. I think this is my 80th Best Ball Mania right now. I'm already in. I'm already entered, but I'm going to do more tonight. So if you want to come draft with me, get ready. And if you're new to the channel, if you're watching this in the future, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that like. Come get in the chat. Say what up. I've got a poll in there right now that says, who's the better third-round pick at running back? Is it Omarion Hampton or is it Breece Hall? You can leave a comment afterwards. Let me know if you're favoring Hampton or Breece Hall right now. If you're in the chat live with me, go ahead and make a vote in that poll. I posted a similar poll on my YouTube page and another one on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage so you know when I'm going live. Yeah, and come draft some best ball teams with me all summer long. You know where to find it. And without further ado, let's kick it to the intro. Let's get into this first Best Ball Mania. I've already entered it. I'm already in. The room has started. We're at the 7th pick position. Let's say what up to everyone in the chat. Let's hit it. But overall, it's like the guy can ball. Like actions speak louder than words. What's up, fellas? How we doing? Cracking myself up on the intro there. Yeah, you don't realize until you have to say it in real time how difficult it is to say Keandre Lambert Smith or maybe Lambert. We'll find out. We'll get to know that player a little bit better. I mean, we've been hearing his name. We've been seeing the camp hype. I haven't clicked him yet, so no exposure there. I've got this filtered right now to all tournaments. I'm going to switch over to Best Ball Mania only. On my best ball overlay, I have my combination tool up. So I'm drafting from the 7th spot. I went Puka Nacua, Lad McConkey, kind of a fun start. And while I'm talking about the overlay, let me go ahead and throw this one up for y'all. Boom, bestballoverlay.com. Check it out. Use code GARAGE. If you sign up, when you sign up for a premium subscription, you can use the tools that I'm using here. In the stream, we got the brand new combination tool, which I love. So like Puka was my first player that I took. And then how many times did I have him with Lad McConkey? None. So it's a unique combination for me in Best Ball Mania. I've got 10% Puka teams, only about 8% Lad teams. And man, it looks like, I'm going to go Hampton here. So a Puka, Lad McConkey, Omarion Hampton start. Very Chargers heavy. It's only fitting. We've got the Hall of Fame game going on right now. And so draft some Chargers. Why not? But yeah, the bestballoverlay.com combination tool and the overlay. You can see my exposures here. It's filtered just to Best Ball Mania. So I've got 10% Kyron. Somehow I only have 4% Mike Evans. Really need to change that. I've got 3 Mike Evans teams, through my first 79 drafts in Best Ball Mania. I don't know how that's happened, but I'll tell you why. A lot of phone drafting, a lot of drafting on my phone, because you could bet if I had seen that my Mike Evans exposure was that low recently, I would have definitely, and I need to make it a priority to get some more. He goes in this one, number 36. So no chance we're getting him at 42. But yeah, check out the bestballoverlay.com. They've got free ADPs and rankings there. So you can see like risers, fallers. That's what we got going on here. And then the premium gets you access to the portfolio, which you can see here. I can see my player combinations, my roster builds, my most exposed players, all of that good stuff, as well as the combination tool here and the overlay during the drafts. 25% off your monthly subscription. Use code GARAGE. And you can always DM me and ask me about it. I'm a huge fan. Should I go Rice here? That seems pretty fun. Either T-Mac or Rice. I could do Cook. Let me go ahead and take some Rashi Rice. People have gotten him a lot cheaper, but I still think he can be a nice wide receiver 3 on this squad. Through my first 4 picks, Puka Nacua, Ladd McConkey, Omarion, Hampton, and Rashi Rice. And yeah, I'm a big fan of Best Ball Overlay. I was using it before I was promoting it, and I would never promote anything to y'all that I didn't personally believe in and enjoy using. So if you're like me, I think you'll like it. If you're doing a lot of volume, especially drafting from desktop, and you want to be able to see your exposures, your player combinations in real time, make better informed decisions as you're building out your teams and a portfolio of teams. You know, what am I? I'm over 500 drafts in this summer. So it's good to keep tabs on these things. And I appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you slap the like, enter your answer into the poll. Who is the better 3rd round running back pick? Is it Omarion Hampton, who I did happen to get in this draft, or is it Breece Hall? I took Hampton in this one. I think his ADP is going to flip Breece Hall. It already kind of is. I've been ranking Omarion Hampton pretty aggressively the last couple of weeks, growing those bags. And yeah, a unique start for me here. Let me say what up to everyone in the chat who we got in here tonight. We got my boy Nick Bach winning the flex. What's up, brother? Bindles, my main man. GM, how we doing? We got Augustus Wetzel. What's up, brother? How you guys doing on this Thursday night? Hope you've had a great week, getting ready for your Friday and a nice weekend. Is Hampton the functional guy you need to win Best Ball Mania? We're about to find out, Bindles, because I think we're building a shipper right here. Ooh, I would have liked Hubbard there. I don't mind Calvin Ridley or Travis Hunter. Let's get ballsy on this one. I'm going to go with Travis Hunter here and then see if I can get lucky what will come back around to me for my 6th round pick, a nice little running back. I think there's a chance that one of the guys I'm targeting could come back around. So through the first 5 picks, I went Puka Nacua, Ladd McConkey, Omarion Hampton. Yeah, we're leaning into the Chargers, not just because they're live on TV, but because, I don't know, this is the way it kind of lines up in the 7th spot in the middle of the board. And I'm pretty bullish on Hampton, like I was saying. Rashi Rice, I want to keep clicking him. I almost took T-Mac over him. It was a toss-up. I almost took James Cook. And then I was considering Chuba Hubbard. He does go at pick 54. I'll get some Travis Hunter at 55. I saw Travis Hunter go at pick 68 on Monday night when Bindles and I, speaking of Bindles, were streaming a Best Ball Mania with Ron Stewart, and we were in the 2 spot or the 3 spot. I think we're in the 3 spot, and we had this nice team going. We almost got Travis Hunter to come all the way back around at pick. Would have been pick 69 for us. So yeah, we were in the 4 spot. Is that right? Because we would have been picking at 69. So whatever it was, we almost got Hunter to come back around late in the 6th. You just don't see that very often. He has been falling though, but I think he fits nicely into like the 5th round range. A lot of upside there, especially as my 4th wide receiver. Yeah, I was hopeful that, I'll take some Swift here. I was pretty hopeful that I'd be able to get Travion Henderson or RJ Harvey or even James Conner. James Conner seems to be rising. I'll go ahead and take Swift with this pick. DeAndre Swift, pick 66, the highest I think I've taken him all summer, but he continues to rise. Doesn't have a whole lot of competition. The Bears improved offensive line, pretty good situation. So I think Swift can continue to be a workhorse kind of back for them, a 3-down back, at least just play a high amount of snaps. And we know that Swift can get it done. He can put up some elite scoring weeks, some big spike weeks, and has a pretty nice floor too. More on that later. When we review this team at the end, we can check back in and see. But Swift, to me, is getting close to the end of a tier of running backs that we have a lot of known production from and questions answered about what their ceiling is. A lot of receivers going in the 6th round. I like Olave a good amount. Some of the other guys, take them or leave them. Depends on the team fit and the build. But I like having 2 running backs and these 4 receivers through my first 6 picks. I'm going to be looking for maybe Mahomes on this team. I could obviously do Herbert, maybe even Stafford later. I've been hopeful to get Stafford well past ADP, and it just hasn't landed for me. I had a team earlier where I had both Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, and someone took Matthew Stafford completely unstacked, like right at ADP, and I would have taken him with my very next pick. Didn't get a chance. Laporta goes there. Laporta would have been nice on this team. It's a little early for Mahomes. I think I can push it. I would love to get some more Egbuka or even Joe Mixon. Hawkinson's not a bad choice. Let me go Joe Mixon here. We're worried about the injury. We're worried about the foot. But the guy can smash. He can have big weeks. I don't know. It's a risky pick. I haven't been doing it as much. Some people are saying Mixon's on a no draft list. Egbuka's definitely more popular, been rising there, but I've got like 20% Egbuka. So one of my most drafted players. So I've got plenty of teams with Egbuka in the mid to late 80s, even early 90s. Let me get another Joe Mixon team in the 70s where I've never gotten him, especially as a bring back for my Hampton and Ladd McConkey start. Kind of a tie break there. Also, I think getting another running back here helps this team just a little bit more than a 5th wide receiver this early. Just things I'm thinking about here. Yo, what's up, Anthony? Best ball on call. Yeah, the Keandre Lambert Smith. There we go, my man. Bindles appreciating the shorts. Yeah, Bindles and I've been putting the work in with our Ballsy stream every Monday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. We've had some great guests on, some fun times, some incredible takes. And so I've been putting some shorts out. Bindle's been putting some shorts out on his channel too. And we're going to keep that going as we get into August here. Tomorrow, August 1st, we're kicking off football tonight with the Hall of Fame game. And it's only up from here. Best ball summer. And we've been drafting teams. We've been in these streets. Mahomes is there. I think that's the obvious choice for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Mahomes, pick 90, stack him up with Rashee Rice on this squad, and then take some pressure off having to land Herbert or even Trevor Lawrence with my later picks. If Hawkinson was still there, I would have really considered it because I think there's some nice value on getting Laporta and Hawkinson in this range. I think they're both in really, really good spots on great teams with great playoff matchups. So Laporta, Hawkinson, guys that I'm starting to target a little bit more as Kittle's got more expensive, and I feel like I have a decent amount of the top elite tight ends. Yo, what's up, Tyler? How you doing, brother? Hope your Thursday's going well. Thanks for stopping in. I'm doing good. I'm excited for the weekend. Got some fun plans, got some brunch plans. You know how we like to do it here. I'm definitely going to be getting some waffles to go with my brunch this Saturday morning. And then, yeah, just sweating it out a little bit. Maybe get into some pool action this weekend. Maybe go to the gym a few times. Maybe get some more cardio club drafts in. I've been up in my cardio club Best Ball Mania drafts in the last week. So I've done, I think, 3 in the last week or 10 days. Ooh, Scadaboo's there, which would be fun on this team. I could get Evan Ingram. If I do Scadaboo and then push tight end, I think I'm going to do that. Let me go Scadaboo. Get the upside at the running back. Yeah, Kelsey goes. Bummer. I've got Rice. I don't want to overstack. I do think that Kelsey's probably a decent pick at 104, but who knows what's going to happen with him this season. If Evan Ingram's still there, it's a good pick. I'm not afraid to take Warren or even Tucker Kraft or Loveland kind of in this range. For me, it's a similar tier. So let me see if I can get into that. I took Scattaboo. Maybe should have gone to Kelsey, but I don't know. I have not been doing a lot of Mahomes teams. I'll do them mostly with Worthy or Rice, especially with Rice. And I haven't been doing a ton of Kelsey teams either. Otherwise, I can try to see if Herbert or Lawrence comes back around. I don't think I want to take a QB with my very next pick at 114. I think I'm going to try to push them to the 127 and get lucky. I mean, I've spent all this draft capital on Mahomes. I'll definitely hammer some more QBs soon, though. Yeah, Augustus is in on Hampton. I think that's the go Bucks. I think that's kind of the consensus right now. Hampton shooting up in the 3rd round. Tesla looking like a dude. Yeah, Tesla round 18 no matter what. Oh, bummer. So Kelsey and Ingram goes the exact same drafter. Would have liked either of those, but I'll pivot. I think I'm going to go with Tyler Warren here. So I've got a 1-4-4-1 build through my first 10 picks. Patrick Mahomes, Hampton, Swift, Mixon, Scattaboo, Puka Nacua, Lad McConkey, Rashee Rice, Travis, Hunter. I mean, we got to hit the clip anytime we draft Scattaboo. Let's see it. Let's see the highlights. And we've been rolling that clip. Geez, must be since early April. How are you going to tackle the guy? Maybe you can catch him, but you can't bring him down. He's going to stiff arm you into the shadow realm. He's going to brace for impact, busting loose. And I cut it early. I cut it short early, but he's got the juke moves too, the evasion. The guy is forcing missed tackles like almost none other. The only guy who does it better is one Ashton Genty. We got clips for him too. I have not drafted Genty in a little while. It's been tough. I really like the wide receivers that go at the end of the first round and that go in the beginning of the second round. So it's tough for me to get on Genty. And it's been a while since I've drafted him. Let's see what we can get into with this round 11 pick. We're coming back up. We got Herbert or Lawrence. Smash. And Drake May's there too, but got to be Justin Herbert on this one to go with my lad McConkey and Omarion Hampton. Already got the bring back with Mixon, so we're all set up nicely. Probably time for another receiver sooner than later, especially with Rashee Rice missing some time. So I'm probably going to get some volume at the receiver position. I don't mind looking back to tight end pretty soon. I like Goddard and Ferguson just fine. Tootin, a little bit of Tootin, of course. Hollywood's there. I don't love Hollywood. I don't love Mims. So I'm not going to force it. I'm going to take players that I think are good rather than just trying to force the correlation. Quentin Johnston's kind of an interesting pick, though, that I already have the stack, of course. Let's look at the board. My next 2 picks, and Quentin Johnston's been rising a little bit, but he might have some more competition with KLS. Easier to say it that way. Lambert Smith kind of getting some noise. Let me check the box score for the Hall of Fame game. I don't have the TV on in my office. I don't have a TV in my office right now. But let me look at the box score, see what's changed. Yeah, Vidal got a little bit of work. Heim's getting some touches. Hampton, of course, got 2 touches. So Tesla, just the two catches. Nothing since then. Okay. So nothing crazy. Nothing really changed. Yeah, Quentin Johnston goes. He's been rising. I think he'll start going in the 1 20 range, late 120s pretty soon, actually. What should I do? Stop with Mahomes and Herbert, or do I look to add Trevor Lawrence here? I could also go Ferguson, I think is a pretty smart move. Get a piece of the Dallas offense that I'd like. Also, week 16 matchup with the Chargers. I think I'm going to go Ferguson, and then maybe Lawrence comes back around. Love is sitting there. So cheap. I mean, getting Jordan Love at pick 138 to me is completely stealing him. Lawrence is not a bad pick there either. So if either Love or Lawrence, well, there goes Love. So someone got a nice follower there. If Lawrence or Bigsby comes back around, Blue, maybe even Sampson, I'm tempted. I could throw in some Romeo Dobbs or Hollywood, but not guys I'm really obsessed with clicking. So through my first 12 picks, I've got a 2-4-4-2, pretty balanced actually. Mahomes, Herbert. Do I stop with the 2 QBs? Do I take a third? We'll just see. Lawrence went pick 141. He's not coming back around, so I'm pretty tempted to stop with 2 now. Call it a day. I've got 4 running backs with Hampton, Swift, Mixon, and Scattaboo. The wide receivers are Puka Nacua, Lad McConkey, Rashee Rice, who's going to miss some time. We got to factor that in. And then Travis Hunter. The first overall wide receiver taken in the 2025 NFL draft. People forget. Tyler Warren, sick, top 10 pick, go to the Colts. The dude is sick. And then Jake Ferguson just signed a big contract. Also a little week 16 bring back for me there. Ooh, I would have liked Bigsby. Bigsby would have been nice. Algier and Ford are good. I don't require, I don't think I need a 5th running back just yet. Oh, then Dobbs goes. So Dobbs was the player I kind of wanted. I could do Thielen. I can wait on this. Maybe I'll just take. I think I will go with Algier, or let me do Ford. Let me hit up Ford. It's a little early. I like him there. I've got a bunch of Algier. I want to mix in more Ford. I've been taking a good amount of Ford lately, and maybe he can give me some early coverage while Joe Mixon is slow to get back. Maybe Cam Scattaboo has to win outright, so Ford can hit my flex. Also, I'm going to be leaning on my running backs early because Rashee Rice is going to miss some games. So let me fill out my flex early. I think I'm good with those 5 running backs. I don't really have any serious bye week overlaps through my running backs, all on different teams, and I've got a lot of rookie upside. So I might wait until the last round to grab a 6th running back, but I'm feeling pretty good about those 5. The receivers, man, it's like I got to get some depth, but I really like my top 4. I love my top 4 receivers. I don't want to force it. At pick 162 in my ranks, I'm looking for Thielen, Demario Douglas, Alec Pierce, all guys that I think can contribute in big ways early in the season for me and with some spike week potential. So we're cooking here. Let's get right into it. Round 14. Who's going to be available? Who makes the most sense? Thielen, Douglas, Pierce. Let me just double check. I think, there's not a whole lot of correlation to play off with Pierce. I can go against week 17 for Jacksonville. Otherwise, just kind of take the best available player. It might as well be Thielen, some early season production, and he's there. Let's get Thielen on this squad. Braylon Allen's been getting some good hype. Can I find a way to fit him in? I feel like I've already paid up for my RB5 and 4 and 5. Otherwise, I think he'd be a great RB 4 and 5 if you needed one in this range. I kind of need to go receivers here on out. Maybe even grab a 3rd tight end at some point and maybe not wait too much longer. And then the confusing part with the Chargers is it Disley? Is it Conklin? I don't know. So I'm probably not going to play it through either one of them right now. We've also got Gadsden on the up and coming, but I think he's more of a dynasty play, a long-term play. Let me catch up with y'all. I mean, these 20-second clocks, insane. What up, Hartman? How we doing, my dog? Hope you're doing well on this Thursday night. Always good to see you in the chat. Hartman and JT and I were ripping it up Tuesday night here in the garage. We did some fun, research that I put together. I did a little trivia with them. where we looked at wide receivers. We looked at the metric racer, which is it's pretty much just their total receiving yards divided by their air yards. So it's guys who can create yardage above, more than what they've got thrown to them through the air. We're back on the clock. Pierce is still there. Braylon Allen's there. I mean, I don't think I need to go Allen just yet. Pat Bryant's kind of fun. I prefer Pierce straight up, especially if Anthony Richardson's going to be playing with him. Geno as a third QB is not a bad option. I'm gonna go with Alec Pierce. I just think he's got a definite role. He's been getting a ton of good camp hype. The dude in his 4th year, he's just proven to be a stud. He's got the deepest ADOT in the entire league. And he's the kind of guy that hit your lineup in a spike type of way where he's going to hit, like if he catches a 60-yard touchdown, he's probably going to hit your flex that week, or if not, your wide receiver 3. So I welcome that onto this squad. Now that I've taken Thielen and Pierce, I'm feeling pretty good about my players that are going to be for sure starters, unless something happens with Thielen and he gets overtaken quickly by Renfro or Coker, who should be more on the outside competing with Leggett, I would think, for like that Z role is what I'm hearing. If Geno's still there, he's kind of tempting this far past ADP. I don't have a good way to get to him, though. I could consider doing something like Besh late with him. Let me just think about that, though. Taj Brooks there, DJ Giddens, both fun clicks. I said I'd go running back late. I think I can go really late with the kind of news and things that we're getting. So I think with my 2-5-6-2 build, I probably want one more receiver before it gets too late. And then Jalen Knowles got a nice upside rookie pick. Goes along well with the thesis I've built out with the Chargers, the Texans. I could Jalen Royals late to go with, potentially, right, to go with my Mahomes. Maybe he fills in early and pays off late. That's kind of an interesting one. I'm tempted to go Knoll here. I think that's just what I'll do. Between the tight ends and running backs available later, it's kind of flat tier for me here. There's still some rookie upside with like Mason Taylor, second-year guy, Theo Johnson, JT Sanders, kind of a similar bet, Terrence Ferguson. So I can probably still get a late tight end if I want to grab that third. I could stop with these two. This could be a nice combo too, and just not overspend at tight end. Yo, what's up, AJ? How you doing, my friend? Thanks for stopping in. Hope you're having a great Thursday night. Brees is so functional. Hartman's not wrong. Brees, a very functional pick with the rushing and the receiving ability. Part of the problem, you know me. I remember the good old days in the big board. We were taking DeAndre Swift to pick 120. You know what they say, though? Chase him up, not down. Yes. Definitely. Lots of ballsy shorts. What's up, Green Bean? Hey. I'm doing well. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you stopping by. Hope you're doing very good. One night of work and then vacation in the morning through the weekend. Hell yeah, my man. Where are you going on vacay? Got any beach plans, mountain plans? Yo, Dad. Hashtag RBs are king. Love that. Good to see you, my man. Hope you're doing well. Putt Daddy, who we picking this week? I picked Lucas Glover. I'm not feeling good about it for my one and done. I'm not excited about Lucas Glover. He didn't start hot like some of these other guys. I should have gone Cam Young. Giddens is there. Marks is there. Do I grab Marks on this team? I'll take some DJ Giddens. I just like Giddens more than Marks, so I'm not going to force it. Maybe he covers Mixon early. Maybe he hits strong late. But I don't know. I think Giddens is still a better bet. That goes with my Pierce now, too. And then, of course, where did Richardson go in this one? So Richardson went at pick 173. He continues to rise. I haven't seen Richardson make it past like pick 175, 78 in about 2 days now. So he's gonna continue to rise. I've started to rank him higher. So on teams where I'm needy for a third QB or some upside with a QB2, and I want to play for upside, play to win it, take Richardson in rounds 14 or 15. Make a bet. Make a bet that he's their guy. That Daniel Jones is not going to have a resurgent year. That Richardson is continuing to, prove himself, progress, get some more snaps under center. Notoriously, famously, Richardson had not a lot of experience coming into the league as a full-time starter in college, in high school, all of the above. What would make sense on this one? My last round pick, a tight end, another receiver. Josh Reynolds goes. I think Theo Johnson could be nice. Juwan Johnson, Dalton Schultz. I'm going to get Theo Johnson. Just a player I want to get a little bit more of. Not looking to force in Schultz, who I think is going to be competing with Stover and Brevin Jordan for snaps. But Theo Johnson, I think he could be a dude. The Giants probably not a team you want to go after a ton, but just kind of how I was feeling with that last pick. So 2, 6, 7, 3 build. Give myself one more shot at tight end. I felt pretty good about the receivers and the running backs. Really, it's pretty fairly balanced team. Good QBs too. We're going to review this one, and we're going to get right back into another draft. Thanks for coming in. Make sure you hit the like. We're about to get into another Best Ball Mania, so if you want to join one with me, cue it up, baby. We're about to get in and rip another draft. I mean, that 20-second clock, hard to keep up, isn't it? Man, let me catch up with the chat. We'll throw on some tunes. We'll review this team very quickly, and we'll get into another Best Ball Mania 6 draft. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday night. Thanks for being here, hanging with me in the garage. Yo, what up, Chris B, my man? How we doing? Oh, appreciate you. Always the kind words. Stopping in here, making me feel good. And yeah, man, hope your Thursday's going very well. I'm excited to hear what Green Bean's vacation is, what he's been up to. Yo, Billy Jones. How much Luther Burden? Billy Jones, you better not be tricking me with that question. I've got a lot of Luther Burden. I'm all in. I've got 20% Luther Burden in Best Ball Mania, and across all my tournaments, it's probably a little bit less. 18% Luther Burden. I'm a Luther truther. I mean, hey, sometimes you just got to know ball. He's been getting. It's a roller coaster with Burden. He's injured. He's healthy. He's thrown out of practice. He's excelling in practice. He's catching balls, in practice. He's looking good. He's touchdowns, this and that, here and there. But I know I'm in on Burden. I remember last year before the start of the college football season, we were talking about Luther Burden. We were talking about Tedaroya McMillan, who would be the first wide receiver taken in the NFL draft from that draft class. Neither one of them. It was Travis Hunter the whole time, but T-Mac goes very high as well to the Panthers, and then Burden slips to the second round. Disappointing junior year after a great, true breakout as a sophomore for Mizzou. So I'm still in on Burden. Let me know, Billy Jones, how much Luther Burden do you have? Hope you're not tricking me there. I think you're in on Burden, right? I forget last time that we drafted together what we talked about. if you were more in on like Rome, I've always been more of a Burden than a Rome guy at cost. Same thing. I love Loveland. Jeff T. Just saying hello so I can see my name on the screen in 2 minutes. Yep, just about. You know, you're lucky that you caught me at the end of this draft, so I I got there a little bit quicker. Yo, what up, BBG? My man. How you doing on this Thursday night? Hope your week's going good, BBG. You must be feeling good. BBG's feeling good. He had a killer stream earlier tonight with the legendary Chess Liam. I was listening in. I was putting the kids down, listening in, catching the Hall of Fame game out of the corner of my eye. Great stuff, man. Fun team you guys drafted, and great interview up front too. And also another great stream you had last night with Nez. That was fun. I was catching some of that. Yo, Reflect the Sun. Good to see you, man. The 13th like. There we go. Make sure you guys slap the like on the way in. Come say what up in the chat and draft some teams with me. I'm about to jump into another Best Ball Mania 6. Yeah, Luther Burden. We're in on Luther Burden. Definitely can be a guy you need. Have some big spike week games when it counts. Week 17. Fingers crossed. Luther Burden be a good way to win. But I think let me check the data, and let me pull this down real quick. I think I got yeah, there we go. Let me get to the right screen. Where are we looking? Week 17. Okay. Got it. It's a little bright. Let me add it back. The game with the Bears. Oh, and the 49ers. It's actually the Sunday night game. I always forget that one. It's the Sunday night game, the 28th. The Bears in San Francisco. Right. So that's a fun one. If you're sweating out week 17, you've got some 49ers, some Bears, some Rams and Falcons, the last 2 games of the entire slate of the entire tournament. I feel like you're going to want some players on those teams when all of the other games have finished, and you can keep climbing up the leaderboard, increase your score. So I think I knew that, and I've already forgotten it, but I talk a lot about the Monday Night Football game in Atlanta against the Rams. I need to start thinking more about that Sunday night game in San Francisco. Santa Clara, I think, actually. That every Saints or New Orleans QB sucks? Yeah, probably. My internet just go down? Some weird things with the internet. Why am I getting no signal? I'm plugged in. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, I will admit, I've drafted Shuck. I drafted Shuck on a team that I drafted yesterday. I posted it on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage. And it was a Shuck team with Olave, maybe even Kamara. I think it was at least just Olave. But I had Jalen Hurts stacked up. I think that was the team. I don't think it had Kamara. It just had Olave. And then I did Shuck Juwan Johnson to end it. But that was the team I got sniped on, where I started with Puka Nacua, AJ Brown, and then Devontae Adams. I got sniped on. Someone took naked Matt Stafford like at ADP, completely bonkers, even with all the back news and like what's going on with him. So I missed out on that one. And I ended up taking Shuck as my QB2 late. But I did have Olave, so I pivoted. I think it ended up being fine. I don't know. Risky bet. But hey, people weren't really drafting like Bo Nix very excitedly last season, and he was going late, 17th, 18th round, whatever. You can get him pretty late for a long part of the season, and he ended up paying off real nice. Tyler Shuck, it's fine. Reflect the Sun's got 14% burden. I like that. There we go. BBG's in. He's got 18 to 20% burden on that kind of guy. Yeah, he's electric. He can hit your lineup. He's a explosive player. Fun to watch too. Oh gosh, yeah. We have to look back at the box scores, but putting up 37 on the Bears are improving, right? They're supposed to get better coaching, better offensive line, some defensive pieces too. Get out of here, Jeff. Your puns. Oh yeah, Billy Jones likes the Ben Johnson. So he's, oh my gosh, 27% DJ Moore. Incredible. A lot, even more burden than me. Big, I mean, you got to have a lot of Caleb if you got that much of the receivers. 18% Rome. Oh my gosh. Fading Loveland because rookie tight ends are tough. 6% Loveland. But Billy Jones, you're talking about Ben Johnson, the guy that made rookie tight end Sam Laporta the tight end number 1 on the season. And then last year we had Bowers, another rookie tight end number 1 on the season. Now it's passing the torch. It's time for Loveland. Yeah, I think Loveland's priced effectively though. I think he's a good price where Loveland's going, but it's if you got that much of the other Bears pieces, yeah, I could see why you might have to pick and choose one you're not in on at that point. Okay, so the Bears. I think the Bears could score more. Yeah, Tyler Warren as well. We think Tyler Warren's really good. Just very talented. Both those tight ends are pretty good, right? Are you Warren or Loveland straight up? I can check because I'd coin flip it, honestly. Situation might be better for either one of them. Who knows? The Colts were a much better team than the Bears last season. People forget. The Colts were borderline playoff team. In my best ball manias, I'm only 6% Warren. I just took him here, and I want to get that up. So I expect to be like 8%, 8 to 10% at least soon. And then I know my Loveland is higher. My Loveland's at 15%. So Loveland's been a little bit cheaper, a little bit easier for me to get a hold of, it seems. And then I'm just a big fan of Colston Loveland. I think the landing spot with the Bears for him was like incredibly good. And you could argue the landing spot for Warren, not as great. But hey, we'll see. Anthony Richardson could maybe actually is good situation for Warren. I don't know. Andy B says having 20% exposure on all the Bears except for the best one is a good bit. He's coming after you, Billy. Yes, Bowers, most drafted last year. Bowers was my most drafted tight end last year. And then getting after Warren this year. I like that, Jeff. I think that's solid. They're talented, follow the talent, hope for opportunity kind of thing. And then, yeah, like tight ends like Warren and Loveland coming out of college, I think are definitely like ready for the NFL. 20% Loveland, 16% Warren. That's nice. Yeah, I gotta get my Warren up a little bit, is what I'm realizing. Probably could be true. Could be true. I think talent wins out. I think with Loveland, they drafted him purposefully to get him the ball short intermediate, get Caleb Williams completion percentage up. So then you can scheme more short intermediate passes to guys like Luther Burden and Colston Loveland. With Warren, we know they can give him handoffs. They can give him, all types of different touches, targets. So yeah, I think Warren's a pretty safe bet. I don't know about Okonkwo, but yes, the getting an upgraded QB and the offensive line for Okonkwo definitely getting in his favor. I don't draft a ton of Okonkwo, but you can get some cheap Titans pieces. I think their offensive line is going to be very good. So fantasy points over expected, correlated with a strong offensive line. True. That's a good point Jeff makes. Name one rookie tight end that has ever hit, says Hartman. I can't think of one. Can't think of a single one. He's got me there. Yo, what up, Lumsky? How you doing, brother? Disbanded here. Hope you're having a great Thursday night. What's up, guys? Maybe Loveland plays in the slot. You know, he could. They talk about it. They're going to do, I think, some 12 personnel too. And they have Komet on the field and Loveland. So, yeah, doing good, man. Just drafting some best ball manias. Let me review this team, and then we'll get right back into another best ball mania real quick. So get ready if you want to jump in one. That was my 80th. So we're making some progress. We're getting through. Yeah, rookie Pitts. Hey, if Pitts is going to move up the board, maybe it's time to start drafting him. We already saw the Darnell Mooney news that he's injured. I hope he comes back. You guys know I'm very in on Mooney. I'm very in on Michael Penix, and I need to get more Falcons in general that aren't just Mooney. We'll find out, Dad. We'll find out. Sometimes the talent wins out and the opportunity gets bigger. It's hard to know. Yeah, Kittle. We all like Kittle. Kittle hit. Let's throw on. Let me just check something real quick. Oh, yeah. I was going to show you guys the Twitter poll I did. Okay, where's the Twitter poll? There it is. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the like. Come follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage. Check out this poll. It closed. 63 votes. Pretty good. Hampton, let's call it 60%. Breece Hall and Kyron, 20% each on who's the better pick in round 3. I'm gonna close the poll on the YouTube side. So let me go to that. Well, I'll check the poll that I posted. It's going to be open, I think, for at least a while. So I guess I can show you guys this one. Yeah, let me show you this one too. This is one I posted on YouTube. You can still vote on it. You can go skew the votes right now. 36 votes. Who's the better round 3 running back? Yeah, Jeff T voted Hampton. What's up, Pooh Hames? How you doing, my friend? 36 votes. It's 64% Hampton, so pretty similar. But then the breakdown is more Kyron leaning on YouTube versus like nothing for Breece. So actually more Hampton, even more Hampton, like 6% more Hampton, 8% more Kyron than on Twitter, and then Breece getting no love on YouTube. Very interesting. We're gathering some data. I've got Hampton personally ranked the highest. And then let me go. I'm going to close the poll now. So it's between Breece Hall, and I guess technically it should be between Kyron and Hampton based on the votes we're getting. But let me go in here. I'm gonna close out the poll. So get your vote in now if you want to make the last second vote. We've got 25 votes in. Anybody else want to take a vote on this poll in YouTube? In the chat right here. You can jump in the chat, vote on the poll. It's either Hampton or Breece for your preferred 3rd round running back pick. Closing the poll now. And it looks like 56% Hampton, 43% Breece. So y'all like Breece a good amount. The rest of YouTube hates Breece. They like Kyron, but they prefer Hampton the most. And then Twitter is big in on Hampton and split between Kyron and Breece. Interesting. We're collecting data points, adjusting the ranks practically every day. But yeah, interesting stuff. Let's review this team. Get right back into another best ball mania. 7-3 team with Mahomes, Justin Herbert. I've stacked Mahomes with Rashee Rice, and I didn't land Kelsey. I didn't land any bringbacks with like Ingram, and I didn't opt for a late Franklin or Vele. Reason being is I don't have a lot of faith in those guys, and so I just wanted to have better talented pieces on this team than just force the correlation. But I think it's still pretty nice. The Mahomes Rashee Rice stack. I got Herbert, and then I stopped with 2 QBs. I got Hampton and Ladd McConkey stacked up with Herbert. I've got bringbacks and Mixon and Jalen Knoll. Running backs are Omarion, Hampton, DeAndre Swift, which apparently I'm part of the problem. According to Hartman, I'm chasing up his price. Took him at 66 here. I really wanted Harvey or Henderson to be there, but I had to make do. Took Swift, and he's famously playing on Sunday Night Football. So we're getting pieces of games that we like. Mixon, Scattaboo, Jerome Ford, and DJ Giddens. So a nice amount of rookies mixed in with some veterans. Some bad teams. Puka Nacua, Ladd McConkey, Rashee Rice, Travis Hunter. I kind of a barbell approach to wide receiver. Took the first 4 early. Took the last 3 later. Adam Thielen, Alec Pierce, Jalen Knoll, Tyler Warren. So my third Colt on this team, Jake Ferguson, week 16 versus the Chargers, also gives me access to a nice Cowboys passing offense, Dak Prescott kind of thing. Theo Johnson, I don't know, threw him in at the end. Just a random shot at one more tight end that could help me out. But I have Scattaboo, so hey, maybe I'm saying I kind of forgot I had the 2 Giants on this team. Not bad, not a bad bet on the Giants. Let's pull it up. Let's get into another Best Ball Mania 6. So I guess that was 79. This will be 80, I think. I'm going to hit enter in the chat if you want to jump in with me. When you see it in the chat, that means I'm doing it, and I'm doing it pretty soon. So if you want to get on this draft, you can pretty much see it there. Make sure you guys have checked out, and it's snap filled. Make sure you guys have checked out the bestballoverlay.com. You can use the free tools for tracking ADPs, risers, and fallers. You can get 25% off your premium subscription using code GARAGE when you sign up, and you can get access to the player combination tool. You can get the exposures and the matchups overlaid onto your drafts. But then, like I was saying, you get access to the portfolio snapshot. You can see top exposures, all of the roster builds you've done. Really cool stuff. Good for tracking your portfolio. For knowing how much George Pickens you have, it's very important to know how much George Pickens you're drafting, and you better hope you've got a lot. So in this draft, I think Anthony's the only one who made it in. Let me know if you're in this draft with me. Say what up. But yeah, it's snap filled. Anthony was ready. He's in the 2 spot. We're in the 9, kind of further back on the board. Haven't been in the 9 spot in a while, it feels like. Let's see what we can get into on this one. Kittle Bowers, pretty fast. Lex Okonkwo. Okay, hey, Okonkwo's a good bet on Ward. So if you're drafting some Ward, I like that. I think Reflect the Sun's got a good point on if I'm drafting Ward, which I had a ton of Ward in the big board, then I'm going to want a little bit of Okonkwo too. Warren's not more talented than any of those Colts receivers. I'll save you some time. Ooh, bold. Been fading Brees all year, says Jeff. The Braylon news today made it look better. Need to increase the Braylon exposure. Maybe the Jets are not the team you need. Maybe they are the team you need. So I've been a Brees drafter for the last couple years, and it hasn't paid off very nicely. So I will say that. If I look at my current exposures at running back, like Kyron 10, Brees 13, Hampton 13. So it's going to start changing because I was taking more Brees. I had Brees in the front of the group. Puka, instant click. Neighbors and Collins will do a coin toss. We'll see what we get. I'm Googling coin toss. And, okay, Puka's there, instant click. It would have been heads. And I was going to say heads for Neighbors, tails for Nico. I mean, Neighbors, the highest target rate among all wide receivers last season, and he did it as a rookie with some terrible QB play. 170 targets as a rookie. Like, what's the ceiling on this guy? Let's just hope he's not injured. Nico Collins, incredibly explosive. As long as he's not exploding one of his own hamstrings. We know that story too well. So, yeah, I'm cool with Brian Thomas or London here. I prefer Brian Thomas. London could easily get it done. Let me look at my player tool real quick. Let me do a quick refresh. McConkey goes, so I have access to either taking Brian Thomas Jr., who I've never paired up with Puka. So I'm going to get unique here and do that, where the player combo tool was telling me I had London and Puka on about 38% of my teams, which is a pretty good clip. So I've been doing some Puka London Best Ball Mania teams. But to get Puka with Brian Thomas, that's a unique combo for my drafted teams, my portfolio. Of course, they have the same week 8 bye, but you can ask anyone in the chat. We all know the answer. How much money do you win in week 8 in Best Ball Mania? Spoiler alert, there's no money in week 8. So we're not trying to win week 8. We're trying to win week 17 when it counts. And let's just take the best players and figure it out later. Puka and Brian Thomas could just be the firepower you need to win one of these large field tournaments, take home a grand prize. I get excited thinking about that. Puka and Brian Thomas. Yeah, that's a fun start. Malik Neighbors, Lad McConkey, also very fun. Nico Omarion, can't go wrong. Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown. These are some good starts here. Anthony goes with some Bijan and some Tyreek Hill. You know what's so funny is we've been calling him Bijan, even at Texas. Even at the Texas games, everyone's been saying Bijan. Bijan's Dijon. He came out, he has his own, Bijan Mustardson. He has his own mustard brand he came out with during college. So Bijan's Dijon. And on, in the games, I remember I've been there in person. They've announced, 30-yard touchdown run, Bijan Robinson. Everyone's cheering. Everyone's saying Bijan. We're all saying Bijan. He comes out, finally says it's Bijan, which is hilarious because I'm pretty sure they've filmed commercials for his Bijan's Dijon. And I can't remember if they actually say Bijan's Dijon in it or if they just typed it across the screen. I have to go back and look, but that's so funny that he finally corrects everyone on his name. Bijan. I think I have one friend who was saying it that way the whole time, which is even funnier that he was right. Yeah, I agree with you, Jeff T, about the Week 17 bring back. Let's do it. Let's get in on these. Thanks for being here, guys. Oh, Trey McBride at 31. What a faller there. I would have picked man, I'm really burying Brees in my ranks, apparently. I said I needed more Mike Evans, so I'm going to follow through. I'm going to get some Mike Evans on this one, even though Kyron would make a lot of sense as well. I think that's probably too aggressive to have Brees down there at 40, but I'm just kind of feeling like the bad news if he's actually splitting some workload with Braylon, and then how good are the actual Jets? Maybe their offensive line is better. They've been investing a lot of draft capital in their offensive line. What do you guys think? That's probably too far. It's probably too aggressive. I think I accidentally moved Brees that far down. Probably should just keep him back up here next to Daniels and Kyron. Let's see how this one plays out, though. I'm constantly adjusting the ranks. Hartman's going to see that and he's going to puke. Yeah, Hampton going at 27. Incredible. Yeah, Omarion 42 in the 4 spot. I caught that, Anthony. Omarion 42 in the 4 spot. He didn't have the chance to draft Hampton. Okay, so Brees, Kyron, Cooks all go. For me, it's Jaden Daniels here. I think I will. I'm gonna grab Jaden Daniels, Rookie of the Year, Rookie Sensation. I mean, if anyone can look, if anyone had a chance to look like Lamar Jackson MVP, it's Jaden Daniels. The way that he's getting carries, the yardage, passing it. You know, he has some room to improve in the passing game. That's for sure. If they trade McLaurin, that's kind of crazy. But I'll take Jaden Daniels there at 40 to go with my Puka Nacua, Brian Thomas, Mike Evans start. It's a 0 RB build. We can land this one. We can figure some things out. Let's see. Yeah, Pickens continuing to go in the 4th round where he should be. Rashee Rice makes it to 48. Last draft, I took him at... What pick was that? Because last draft, I started off with Puka in the 8th spot. So I took Rice at 41, I think. I think that makes sense. Back-to-back Puka teams? Is that what just happened? Back-to-back Puka teams and I didn't even notice it until just now? Let me check. I forgot. Yeah, the last draft was, of course, Puka allowed McConkey, right? And so now I go Puka in BTJ. Nice. It's coming back around. Time to hammer some running backs, most likely. 57, Hubbard. What a gift. Yes, I will take Chuba Hubbard at pick 57. And then maybe I can get one more of this tier here. I have like Kamara, James Conner, RJ Harvey, Travion. Otherwise, I'll grab Olave, Addison, Debo, probably a good choice. Probably not bad to go Debo. Bro, you're all good, Green Bean. No fancy vacay, just siblings getting a car, big cabin in Arkansas and chilling. Dude, that sounds perfect. Touching some grass, getting out in some nature. If you're up in the mountains, it might be cooled off a little bit, or by the lakes. It's beautiful out there. That sounds great, man. That's exactly what I like to do. Get out there in nature, spend some time with the fam. Golden going pick 61 and Debo pick 60, so I don't even have a shot to get Debo there. But maybe, just maybe, it helps me get one of these running backs to come back around, and RJ Harvey makes it. Incredible. Through my first 6 picks, I have Jaden Daniels. Didn't have a chance to get Debo, but I landed RJ Harvey instead. I have Chuba Hubbard, 4 picks past ADP. RJ Harvey, about 2 picks past ADP, but he is kind of hard to get your hands on unless you're taking him in the 5th. I got him in the 6th. At least for me. Just hadn't lined up perfectly in a while. It's been a while since I got Harvey. And I'm definitely in with that Broncos. Probably one of the most elite offensive lines, especially for run blocking grade. Puka Nacua, Brian Thomas, Mike Evans. So we've made up ground at running back surprisingly quick. It's just kind of worked out that way. Let me show you what I'm talking about when I get into what I'm talking about with these composite ratings. This is from last year, but you can see who are the Broncos. Where are the Broncos? Way up here. So pass block composite rating, they're the 100. They're setting the standard, and then their run blocking, it's about the middle of the pack. But their total like composite blocking is very good. And then if I go over here, this is the same thing essentially, but it's points over expectation per drop back, and then yards before contact per designed run. And so the Broncos are in this almost elite quadrant, right here. You can compare them to like the Packers or the Bills. And then in terms of their 2025 pass protection expectation, the Broncos are like the top team. And I think this chart, though, is before. I have to check the date on this chart because I was getting worried that chart was before the NFL draft, or it was like right after, and there wasn't some of these other news items like the retirement for the Lions and things. So I've been trying to find like a newer, updated version of that chart, but just a little intel there of why I'm high on the Broncos offensive line. Pick 81 coming up. Okay, I'm going to go Ricky Pearsall. This is the gift to get Pearsall this late. I think I'm good. I don't have to take Mixon there. I'm going to scoop up the Pearsall at 81. I know Nick Bach's going to like that pick. If Suss Edwards was here, I think he would approve of the Ricky Pearsall there. Pick 81 overall. Hawkinson coming back would be very nice. If not, I'll probably just go Mixon if he's there. I'm not afraid to take Mason. Brian Robinson, team level correlation, but we're hearing things about Jacory, a.k.a. Bill Krosky Merritt, maybe working in. We already know Eckler was good. So I'm not super high on Brian Robinson. He's had some spike games, though. He just doesn't have a lot of consistent production. Like, Brian Robinson can hit your lineup for a week. He can give you a spike game, maybe 2 touchdowns, maybe 120 yards total. Not a lot of receptions. Really low floor, though, as well. If he doesn't score, doesn't catch the ball, he goes. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Hawkinson's there. I think I go Hawkinson. Man, it's between him and Mixon. Do I get Mixon at this cheap price? I think I kind of do. Or Hawkinson. I took Mixon last draft. Man, it's crazy. I took him way ahead of this last draft. Let me get Hawkinson there. I think Hawkinson's a nice pick, a nice part of this team. I'll hope that I just don't need Mixon on this squad. Tough. What are you guys doing? Are you drafting Mixon? Would you take him at pick 88 overall? I think I definitely would not let him get past pick 90 or 96. That seems like way too far for the level of risk, but it's an upside pick, and older running back, some injuries, the foot injury, but the dude can spike, and we'll show you the charts after this too. Like, I think I was going to show you the chart before this draft, but I got carried away. Started the draft early. Dak Prescott 93. Interesting. Joe Burrow went 65 to a drafter who had Lamar Jackson and started double running back with Genty and Bucky, pulling Bucky up to pick 17. He did land Zay Flowers at 56. He pulled up Mark Andrews there, 89. It's not uncommon to see Mark Andrews go in the 8th round occasionally. I think Mark Andrews is a smash pick in the 9th round. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think the Puka London's pretty common. But hey, Nico with Ladd. You could say Neighbors with Bowers or Genty. Of course, like you said, Chase Brown with Marvin Harrison or McBride. So sometimes those things just kind of line up. Burden goes 99. Very interesting. Anthony grabs Emeka Egbuka at 74. I like that pick. Pretty aggressive. Then he comes back right around with Baker Mayfield. So that's a nice stack for him. And then ETN. So it looks like Anthony's still in on ETN at pick 98. I'm not sure how I like to play the Jaguars running backs other than just taking a lot of Tootin. So I guess I do know how I like to play it. I mostly take Tootin. Okay, I'm going to pass on Nix. I think Ingram's still there, though. Could take Coleman. Go Scataboo, and then see who comes back around. Because, well, yeah. I'd like to get maybe even another running back like Charbonnet or Spears. I like my 4 wide receivers a lot. Puka Nacua, Brian Thomas, Mike Evans, and Ricky Pearsall. Justin Fields is there. I feel like I do want to take Trevor Lawrence, so I'm not going to force the Fields pick, although this is not a bad ADP fall for Fields. 10 picks. It's a tough decision. I honestly kind of I feel like I need another running back. I'm going to take Charbonnet. Hope that's not a bad pick. I've got a ton of Fields teams. Let me do Charbonnet here. Crazy to pass up on Fields. It's just because I've already gotten Jaden Daniels, so I don't really need the QB2 points. Like, I'd rather be able to fill my flex with like a Charbonnet. A lot of contingent upside value. Maybe just the Seahawks run the ball so much. Although that offensive line, anyone will tell you, is not looking good. So maybe I should have gone Spears there. Could have gone Spears. The Titans' offensive line's looking pretty good. And with Cam Ward, big upgrade. Zach Charbonnet, downgrade from Geno to Sam Darnold for sure. Hoping I can get maybe Trevor Lawrence to come back around. It seems like he will be there at pick 129 and then 136. You have to consider where Travis Hunter is the most probable other stacking partner that someone might try to take Trevor Lawrence with some priority. And it looks like Hunter went at 51. So just the drafter from the 3 spot who does have a ton of wide receivers, but no QB. I'm hoping he takes... Yeah, he took Lawrence. So there he goes. Probably could have called that one. He had literally no QB and a bunch of wide receivers, but not like very stackable ones. And so, unfortunately, Trevor Lawrence falls right to him. Pick 123, well ahead of ADP. Spears almost made it back around. Kind of a bummer that he's not there. For me, it's Herbert or Love. I can do Tootin. Boom, Jordan Love. Herbert had the same buy as Jaden Daniels. I'll take Love. I'll figure out how to stack on some more Packers later if I can. But I still just think it's a good, really, really undervalued quarterback, Jordan Love. One of the best offensive lines and some good weapons around him. Kind of an interesting spot to be in, because I was looking at my other stacking partners, and it's like Stafford, or I can build something out later, like with some back stacks. The fact that I didn't even have a chance to get JJ McCarthy or Trevor Lawrence on this one doesn't feel great. Tootin, Bigsby, Goddard, all fine picks for me. I mean, Ferguson, there goes Goddard. Wow, Pitts at 133. Hey, Ferguson goes, look at that, a run on 3 tight ends, but it leaves me to getting Tootin at 130. Tootin is, I guess, it's about his ADP now. We're going to see Bigsby rising. Tootin may be falling a little bit. I'm still going to draft Tootin. So through my first 12 picks, I've got a 2-5-4-1 build with Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, Chuba Hubbard, RJ Harvey, Cam Scattaboo, Zach Charbonnet, Bashal Tootin. We've got 3 rookie running backs, Charbonnet and Hubbard. Puka, Brian Thomas, Mike Evans, Ricky Pearsall, and TJ Hawkinson. Probably time to come back around to some wide receivers soon enough. See where Tank Bigsby goes. I think he should be going right about now. I think he's not rising fast enough. There he goes, 142. Paired up with Trevor Lawrence. I like that pick. Yo, what's up, Michael? Who gets a big bump if they trade McLaurin? Yeah. If they trade McLaurin, I guess it's just Debo. But then McCaffrey, is he draftable? And they're not gonna. There's no way they trade McLaurin, right? Because then what are they gonna do? They don't have a true alpha. Like, great question. I don't know what they do. Yo, what's up, Rabona? Thanks for being here. Hope you're having a great Thursday. Yeah, let's get those Tesla bags, right? People are going nuts about Tesla right now. I've drafted him a few times across all tournaments. Can't say I've got a whole lot in Best Ball Mania. More than none. I mean, we'll check in. Tesla, 6%. I've drafted him in 5 Best Ball Manias. More than I thought, actually, honestly. Romeo Dobbs, instant click. Like I was saying, I don't mind Jerome Ford. I've already taken 5 running backs, so I'm not really in a spot to get one here, but it could just make sense. Probably makes sense to go Ertz. Or even Stafford, really. Ertz or Stafford is probably the play. Probably Stafford then. I think I have a chance of getting Ertz to come back around. Pick 160 coming up. And then after that, it's going to be 177. Ertz falls there sometimes. I'll just go Stafford. A 3 quarterback build with Jaden Daniels. But again, the Stafford with Puka, I think, makes some sense. Jordan Love, I'm back stacking now. Might be done there with just Dobbs. I don't know what else I can do. Marshawn Lloyd, is he healthy? Is he worth selecting? Hard to say. No Dallas pieces, no Ravens, and no Falcons. So coming up short on the bringbacks. Some nice pieces. A lot of upside players. A lot of rookie running backs with Harvey, Scattaboo, and Tootin. This team looks eerily similar to the last one I drafted, but in a completely different way. A lot of the similar pieces. Yeah, Nick was a big fan of the Pearsall pick. Yeah, I know. It's these 20-second clocks for Bona. You know how it is. Gotcha. About the mix-in, right? Yep. What up? What up, Kriyath? How you doing, my friend? Mixing 80s, 90s seems good. Yeah, there's no way they can trade Terry, right? Trade for Ayuk? I don't know, I guess. Ayuk wants to go there. Yeah, you have been saying that, I think, about the wild card. Still taking Tootin. Yeah, I'm playing for week 17. And we'll see what happens with the depth chart later in the season. I admit I do like Bigsby. I think he can spike. Go Pierce here and then wait on tight end. I missed the Gesicki and Ertz. I might have liked either one of them. Ertz more than Gesicki. So yeah, I'm definitely still drafting Tootin. I think he's an exciting player, and if that offense is going up in the right direction, then I want a piece of that. Upside rookie swing, and it's been RB5 too, and he's the cheapest. Well, I guess Tank Bigsby is technically the cheapest still. So I mean, Tootin's gonna fall. I think he's gonna fall a little bit. Maybe I need to stop drafting him exactly where I'm getting him there. Thornton goes. It's a good spot for Mason Taylor. Could be Hunter or Bill Krosky Merritt on this one. I think we're going to see Roshan falling. 3, 5, 7, 3 kind of build, maybe even. Mason Taylor and Hawkinson. Well, Bill's going early. Pick round 16. You know, undrafted 3 days ago. Now he's getting drafted in round 16. But that's kind of how it goes. Let's check back in with the Hall of Fame game. Did Tesla end up ever doing anything notable? Looks like no. Maybe you guys are seeing something I'm not seeing yet. Vidal gets another score, or gets a score. Getting Tootin late. I mean, anything after pick 130 is fine for me. I was taking him earlier than that pretty recently, but I think his ADP is going to fall a little bit for Tootin. Okay, tight end or receiver or even running back. My running backs, I'm pretty covered. A lot of rookies. Could take one more. Jarquez makes sense on this team. Another running back with Jarquez. Puka, Brian Thomas, Mike Evans, Ricky Pearsall, Romeo Dobbs, Alec Pierce. It's going to be like a 3-6-6-3 build. If I go Terrence Ferguson with my last pick, I could do Jordan Whittington. That's kind of a handcuff for Puka, so it kind of defeats the purpose. Wide receiver wise, Ray McLeod. Tesla. I don't think it's a Tesla team. (3-6-7-2) might make sense as well. Well, no, I kind of like the 3 tight end attack. You know, I started more of a 0 RB, and then I'll get Terrence Ferguson. Maybe he's something. Maybe he can help me get there. The wide receivers are definitely very strong. Let's get it. 3-6-6-3 build with kind of a zero running back start. Did I say 0 wide receiver? A 0 running back start, kind of. Still took Chuba Hubbard at pick 57. It's worked before. It worked for Best Ball Mania 4. Fareed started off with 5 straight wide receivers before taking a running back. He had Jordan Love on his squad. He had 3 QBs. He had 3 tight ends. 6 running backs, 6 receivers. I think he had Juwan Johnson. I should have taken Juwan Johnson just for the whole upside picks with like Mason and Ferguson. A lot of rookies on this team. No rookie wide receivers though. But 4 rookie running backs, 2 rookie tight ends. Interesting build. Ooh, Isaac Tesla going undrafted. And then Anthony grabs Felton with his last pick. Michael's fading Tootin. Yeah, not interested in the Jaguars backfield. I can see that. Yeah, that's kind of my bet. Tootin, just bet on talent. Rookies being leverage play or some better play for late in the season kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Upside. That's true. Also accurate. Very accurate. So then, Michael, my only counter to that is that if you imagine the draft capital curve, it's flattening out around pick 140 anyways. But I get what you're saying. If it goes, he probably is going to go near 140 or even into the early 140s. He could. But these are all $1 auction bids at that point. So the difference in my mind between an upside swing on a guy like Tootin at pick 135 versus 145, unless you're weighing it against like, oh, there's a quarterback like Penix or somebody that I need there, or maybe, and it's kind of like that wide receiver dead zone as it is. So you might as well just take the upside swing at running back is how I feel about it. Or there's just other running backs you like more, which is totally fair as well. You could just say, hey, in the 130, 140 range, you know, I'd rather be getting Isaac Guerrero, Ray Davis, maybe Rashad White, Dylan Sampson. So, or these tight ends too. Like, They go a little bit earlier in this one, but like Goddard, Ferguson in that range. So those are all valid reasons. I like Tootin. I draft a good amount of Tootin. Probably need to back off just a little bit. 17%. Because what we're hearing about Bigsby. Yo, what up, Bo? Underwhelming performance by Hampton. Yeah, but it's a Hall of Fame game. What can you really expect? They're not going to get him out there and use him a lot. If you want to see an overwhelming performance by Hampton, just go look at his college games where he could do it all, run, catch, and his whole skill set. I'm pretty excited on Hampton still. I think we all are. Collectively, he's rising. One of the big. Let's go to the ADP and rankings. I guess he's not. I mean, it's gonna be hard for him to be on this list of the pure ADP risers on the movers. But we see Najee Harris continuing to be one of the biggest fallers. That's the other side of it. The flip side. Let me scroll down a bit to get to Hampton. So Omarion Hampton currently going about pick 34. ADP is about 34, right between Kyron and Brees. I think he overtakes both of them. He's risen 3.7 spots in the last week, 12 spots in the last 2 weeks, or that's like 30 days, and then 5.8 spots since the open of Best Ball Mania. I've got 12%. I took him again tonight. It's bestballoverlay.com. This is the free ADP snapshot dashboard you can get access to. Check it out. And then if you are drafting high volume of best ball teams like me, I would suggest checking out the bestballoverlay.com. You can use code GARAGE for 25% off your monthly subscription. Shoot me a DM if you have any questions. If you're curious about how it works, how to use it, how easy it is to use. This is the portfolio snapshot. It shows you your playoff stacks, your positions by round, your roster builds, your draft capital. You can see over here, I'm spending about 41% of my draft capital on wide receivers. Decent amount, 31% on running backs, but not nearly as much. You can also, with the premium tool, you get the combination tool. So like we can see, for instance, the players that I drafted with Jaden Daniels. How often do I take Jaden Daniels and Jordan Love? I've done it before, so 11% of the time. What about Stafford? Same thing, 11% of the time. And then Puka, I've done it 22% of the time. And then Brian Thomas. I had 0 Brian Thomas with Jaden Daniels teams in Best Ball Mania so far. So getting some unique combos, keeping track of these things, getting to see your stacking partners, right? Your on-screen exposure, playoff week matchups. Check out bestballoverlay.com. Hit me up if you're interested to learn more. You can follow me on Twitter at FFBGarage. Make sure you slap the like on your way in. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We're drafting best ball teams all summer long. You know where to find it. We've ripped 2 best ball manias tonight, and we're about to get right back into another draft. So come draft with me. Say what up in the chat. Let's get after it. Let me catch up with y'all in the chat too. You know how it goes. About to start another Best Ball Mania 6 draft real soon. Let's go. Check my messages. Hartman just walking me off a ledge. I was DMing Hartman about in our FFPC draft. We took Brian Thomas Jr. No, sorry, scratch that. We took Brian Robinson of the Washington Commanders. B-Rob. We started with like a 0 running back team. We have B-Rob, Caleb Johnson. I think we missed out on Pollard. So then, do we have Pollard too? I had to look it up. We have Samson, Blue, Scattaboo. We have a ton of good Jarquez Hunter later. We have a ton of good rookie hits. But Hampton's like, no, we're good. He's the goal line back. We're good. A good team. Could have went Warren, though. We could have gone Warren there. We had Caleb, you know. Yeah, we have depth at running back for flex with the Rice suspension. We drafted Rice before the suspension came through. That's the struggle sometimes of drafting a high-stakes team with limited information. But, ooh. Yeah, George Pickens... reception perception tree looking pretty good. Some good notes there. Interesting stuff Bindles was sharing with me. Yeah, what up, Dragonheart? Commanders might opt for Keenan Allen if they trade Scary Terry. That would be insanely good. That's my new favorite landing spot for Keenan Allen. I'm all in on that. At one point I had like 6% Keenan Allen, and then everyone in the chat was telling me it was a good idea. I think a bunch of smart people I listened to telling me it was a good idea. So then I was up to 16% Keenan Allen. I've worked it back down to about 13%. I'm not just taking him every time, but I've taken him on 10 best ball manias. So I would like that. Oh, yeah, but Jalen Lane would go in the 120s if they trade Scary Terry. I don't think so, personally. I would have a hard time seeing that. A rookie with not a lot of draft capital. I just don't think he could go that high. I'm somewhat aware of Jalen Lane. I've been hearing his name. I've been hearing some people talk about him, even right around the NFL draft, right after some of the Washington beat reporters, 4th round draft pick. So as a receiver, not incredibly good capital, but we've seen guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown come out of that range. Good size, speed, weight, a bit older of a prospect. Nothing's crazy standing out with his college dominator or target share. And then his production at Virginia Tech, nothing really stands out. Special teamer. I think he's a special teamer for them. I think he's probably competing with Luke McCaffrey for special teams duties, if I had to guess. But let me know if I'm wrong, if you've been hearing something different. I think it's just early to know. For the Commanders, I would think Keenan Allen signing there would be very interesting. I'm like 99% sure they are not going to trade Scary Terry. It's just a tactic by him and his agent to get his deal done. He wants a similar size deal that others are getting. But so I don't think so. But even if he did, that's not necessarily. I don't know. I wouldn't think. I think Jalen Lane would be like draftable, given that circumstance. But I wouldn't say go to 120s. Although there is kind of a wide receiver dead zone in that range. But like, you have guys like Alec Pierce, a known commodity, a known good player, guaranteed snaps. And he's going in the 170s. So Jalen Lane, best case scenario, he's going pick 180. Just my 2 cents. Yeah, I think it's just too far for me to get there on a rookie pick like that who should be a special teamer. Yeah, with KLS, I think it's getting a little ahead of ourselves. He's going to have to beat out former first-round pick Quentin Johnston or Trey Harris to get snaps. He's not going to take over Ladd McConkey's, targets or snaps. So it's tough. He's the wide receiver 4 at best. Mike Williams retiring does open up some opportunity for him to get there, though, and maybe as the season goes on, if Justin Herbert is that guy that he can be, maybe you'd want some exposure to KLS, but like I'm not there yet. I'm not even drafting him yet. On a Herbert team, maybe. Yeah, the best ball Broverlay. Love it. Oh, Mixon at 122 on DraftKings. That's a smash, and I'll show you why, Bo. Yeah, I could have gone JCM on this one. JCM went in round 16. On another platform. Trade for Ayuk because he played with Jaden Daniels. Oh, that's fun too. Yeah, that is fun. People forget Jaden Daniels was in college for so long. He played with Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, that's a funny thing to say. Oh, because I didn't catch up. No, sorry. Just didn't see it until now. 20-second clocks. And when I'm drafting these best ball manias, I'm going hard. I'm trying to win. So appreciate you being here. Sorry I didn't catch up until now. Is this guy on another platform? He's not seeing the YouTube messages at all. True. Debated the Tesla Felton bring back for JMO. Okay. Yeah, I could see it. I think Tesla for me, I think he's similarly to like Jalen Lane or KLS. Very deep on the depth chart, more of a special teams play. Looks like overkill with Daniels and Love. Yeah, I think it's because I've got Puka though. I wanted to get Stafford. Puka Stafford. Threw in the Jarquez Hunter. Threw in the Terrence Ferguson. So I've got a lot of Rams on this team as it ended up. I've got a skinny stack with Dobbs and Love, so I don't have a whole lot there. And then naked Jaden Daniels. Maybe it's overkill. Yeah, Anthony's like, by the time you read this, I will be asleep. But let's check out. I don't even remember if I reviewed this team. I think we did. Yeah, we reviewed it. Nice value on Ricky Pearsall. Got some more Mike Evans. Didn't quite fall my way with the QBs that I wanted. But I think it's fine. Anthony goes Baker Mayfield, a 3-5-8-2 build with Baker Mayfield, Drake May, Anthony Richardson. So I love your QB room. Very strong. Bajan, Kenny Walker, K9, Travis Etienne. He just likes the optionality that he could be the starter, could be traded, who knows. And then Rashad White, Braylon Allen. I think that can get it done. That's a nice 5. So I like your first 3. I like your next 5. The wide receivers with Tyreek. Get some Reek in there. So Devontae Adams going for the older receivers, but brings in the young J-Mo. Another old Stephon Diggs. Again, they're young. Amika Egbuka. Really strong receiver room through your first 5 picks. Very strong. Leggett, Hopkins, Felton, Tyler Warren, and Kate Auden. This is a nice team. Good correlation, good stacks, good combinations of young and veteran players. I like this squad. Got some Tampa Bay pieces. The Drake May with the Diggs. And then Anthony Richardson's been like the guy of the talk of town for QBs kind of recently. You get him at 170. I think that's a great spot to take him. Very strong team, Anthony. I like it. Clipper Nation, what's up, brother? Goddard, Ferg, Kincaid range is really nice for tight ends. I think so. I haven't been taking as much Kincaid. I'm just not a huge Kincaid bull. I need to sprinkle him in. I've come back around on Ferg. Famously, I think I said to Hartman one time that I thought that Ferguson was one of the worst picks on the board at ADP. I've come back around. I mean, I think it's fine. Just big bet on the Dallas offense being good is really all it is. But Goddard is a smash. Goddard's definitely good. He doesn't throw touchdowns like Scattaboo, though. Yeah, Scattaboo can chunk it. Best ball overlay. That's sick. Hell yeah. Yeah, if you're interested in the best ball overlay, hit me up. If you have any questions, you get 25% off the premium subscription if you use code GARAGE. And I really enjoy it. I wouldn't promote anything that I didn't enjoy using, didn't believe in. I was using it before I was promoting it, and it's a great tool. It's a good, if you're drafting high volume, if you're like me, it's fun to keep track of all of these things in real time. It makes it easier. I used to do these things by hand. I've memorized the week 17. Sometimes I've memorized the week 15 or 16. I used to track, exposures by hand, combinations, whether I had it in a Google sheet or whatever, but it's just so much easier. And if you're doing high volumes of drafts, it makes a lot of sense. Very affordable too. Especially now. I mean, you could get a monthly subscription and ride this out for the next month and draft all your teams. Perfect timing. There we go. Some garage doors. That sounds like hard work. Yo, what up, Billy? Yeah, I'm locked in. You guys know it. Locked in. Hardly can keep up with the chat. What else is new? But I'm working on it. No guests tonight, so somewhat easier to tune in to catch up with the chat. Yeah, Hartman's been holding off. I've been trickling them in. I think Hartman's done more best ball minis than me, though. I'm at like number 80 right here. I think Hartman's in a similar range. We both been kind of focused on getting him in August. I'm trying to get him in when I can and get him in, save some for August. Nick talking trash. Nick going live tonight. We'll see. Yo, what up, Neil? Suck me in with the Hampton hype. Yeah, we've got the Hampton hype going on in here. I threw some polls together earlier in the stream. Sorry I missed you. I missed everyone in the chat, but sorry I missed you in the last 10 minutes, Neil. Our polls, let me give you the lowdown. I did a Twitter poll that was pretty heavily Hampton. I'll scroll over to it. It's still up there. I'm going to retweet it right now. Oh no, it's already closed, but I'll retweet. Maybe I'll quote tweet the results, but it was, let's just say 60% Hampton, 20% Hall, 20% Kyron Williams on like 63 votes. I did a YouTube poll that was like 68% Hampton, 28% Kyron, and then like 8% Brees. So much unlike my YouTube post on the channel. Way less in on Brees Hall, way more in on Kyron, but everyone's pretty much consensus in on Hampton. And then I did a little chat poll, and the chat was, it was just Hampton or Brees, and the chat was like what, 57% Brees, Hampton, and a little bit below 50% on Brees. So interesting, a lot of difference going on there. But if I had to predict, and we see Hampton go in this draft at pick 27, Brees at 36, Kyron 38. Hampton's going to flip both of them in the next day. When ADP drops tomorrow, Hampton's ahead of both of them, I think. Tesla could find a role. Maybe. I think it's tough. Amon-Ra, Jamo, Laporta, Gibbs, Montgomery catches a lot of balls. I would bet Montgomery catches more balls than Tesla does in 2025. But you're right. There's contingent value there, and they drafted him for a reason. Yo, what up, B Fatty? Are you just closing your eyes and making random picks? Yes. Most of the time, just completely random. Sometimes I'll flip a coin on my other monitor over here. I'll just hit the coin flip. I did it in this one. Well, I preemptively did it. If Puka Nacua wasn't there at pick 9, I had to choose between Malik Neighbors or Nico Collins at my 9th spot. I flip a coin because I like Nico a little bit more, but Neighbors is also an incredible pick in the end of the first round. So, and I don't hate Amon-Ra either. Hope you're having a good night, B Fatty. Thanks for being here. Thanks for saying what's up. Yo, copy paste dates. Another fun fact: Brees Hall is younger than RJ Harvey. That is fun. Yeah, Brees coming back from the knee injury. I've been making bets on Brees every season. I'm hoping it pays off at some point. Really hadn't paid off yet. Yo, what up, Chris? Rams catching 3-yard passes from Jimmy G. I know, right? I have a dynasty league super flex, pretty deep benches. I picked up Jimmy G because I do have Stafford, and my quarterback room is not the strongest. So Jimmy G, let's hope that it's not. There's worse backups for sure. Dr. B. Harris, what's up, brother? Hope you're having a great week. Good Thursday night and getting ready for a little summer weekend. Starting off Friday strong tomorrow. Ooh, Nick might be doing a late night stream. Shout out to Nick Bach in the chat. Also streaming best ball content and some really fun streams too. Great guests, good takes, good times. Make sure you've checked out Nick Bach. But you guys already know Nick. You know him, you love him. He's always in the chat, in the Discords, hanging out. Let's rip another Best Ball Mania draft. Or should we? Should we get into... Should we do Best Ball Mania, or should, like Hartman was saying, should we... Maybe we chill on Best Ball Mania tonight. Maybe we rip whatever else is open. A little 4 Friday action in. I think the top prize on the 4 Friday was like too small. 1,500. 3,300 entrants. Still big enough to be hard to win, but small enough for not an incredibly good payout. I don't think I could fill a sprint, but I would like to do a sprint if I could. I'll check the sprint room. Yeah, otherwise the Husky. I've done 3. I thought about doing a 4. I don't think I'll max it. Pretty good rates though. Let's pop into the sprint. Let me see how close the sprint is. Let's see how close the sprint is, and then we'll kind of circle back and see what's going on. 4 people. Okay, we could fill a sprint. I kind of want to do a sprint. I don't even have sprint ranks in here. I should upload. I do have multiple premium subscriptions that give sprint rankings, and I have not uploaded any sprint rank because I've only done 2 sprints. I have not done a whole lot. Could be fun to do a sprint right now. If we can fill it, we'll see. I'll put the bat signal out. I think I just tweeted out that I was doing another Best Ball Mania, but pivoting to a sprint. Oh, waiting on 3. Let me go to the Pounders Discord. Pounders Discord, currently drafting sprint plus 3. There we go. Who else? Who else can we reach out to? We could go to let me see. Who else? Who else? I'm going through the Discords right now, trying to see if we can get people who want to draft a sprint. Let's see. +2. Nick's about to get in some Husky action. Did I see the catch by Blue? I don't know if I saw the catch by Blue. I saw a run by Blue today. But hit me up. Post it and tag me on Twitter if it's something I should look into. But I mean I've seen every snap Blue took in college. Like I watched all the games. I'm definitely aware of Blue's talent. Drafting bags of them. Oh, there we go. Neil says he's out on the sprint. We're waiting on one. Where's JMC when you need him? Yeah, maybe he's asleep. I put out some bat signals. 2 away. Yo, what up? What up, Pat? Almost at Shundy. How you doing? What's going on tonight? What are you drafting? We're trying to fill a sprint here. I'll put it in the chat. +1 for a sprint, just in case anyone hops in here is curious. +1 for a sprint. It's different. I probably should take a second here to upload the ranks. I think I can. Let me go ahead. Ooh, let me go over here. Best Ball Rankings Hub. I've got some pretty recent sprint. Let me download this real quick. There we go. Oh, didn't mean to close out of that. Well, I'll have to open that again another time. Oh, 500. Pat, you know I can't see anything. 500. Almost at 500. Really? We're getting close. We're getting close. We're making some progress. We're making some progress. We're going to be drafting best ball streams all summer. Ripping it. Appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you hit the like on the stream. Make sure you're subscribed. Come draft with us. A player Q in the 2 spot. We got LOL Hot Dogs in the 1. He lied. It's too late. He can't think. He can't get the mind going on a different format this late. He lied. He slow rolled us. He got in. Yeah, the Sunny's got him. I thought that was an S. Hey, it's almost Sunday. I was like, Shundy. You never know with Pat. Yeah, almost at 500. We're working on it. We're working on it. Appreciate you feeling it. Neil being here in the chat, saying what up. Let's get it. Let's get this sprint. I'm surprised we filled it. I haven't done a sprint in a while. Mazone in the 11. What's up, brother? So we got some of us in here. Let me see. Let me flip over to the rankings. NFL season sprint. Let me not do this. Let me do this real quick. Upload CSV upload sprint. Got it. Save. Back to my drafts. I think I made it perfectly on time. Okay, I've uploaded the ranks. Shout out to the FanSpeak Network. I've got the FanSpeak Premium Substack subscription. And so I've uploaded Meg's ranks. Shout out to Meg. And that's going to give me a little bit of an edge here versus just going straight off ADP. I'm curious to see the differences in this format. I have not drafted a sprint in quite a while. One of the side quests, we're getting into it tonight. We ripped 2 Best Ball Manias. So time for a sprint draft. Just to get a little bit different. Hartman kind of reminded me. He's like, hey, we got to save some of these Best Ball Manias for late August. Get some more camp news. Get some more practices under the belt. Depth charts shaking out. The injury news. Updates. Some preseason games. It all makes sense. So let's spread it around a little bit. Do a sprint here. Different strategy, right? You got to advance 2 out of 12. But then it's a 9,300 player pool for a playoff sprint. Incredibly big. playoff field. I've been tempted to do sprints. I've been trying to join them kind of at the end of streams for the last couple days, because I did a lot of research on my running backs lately. And one of the things I did was I've been looking at running back data in segments of 3-game stretches. So like between week 1 and 17 last year, there were 15 segments of 3 games. You could start from week 15 to 17, that's a segment, and then work your way back, and your last one would be weeks 1 to 3. And I looked at all of the running back data from all of the running back scores across any given 3 weeks last season. A lot of interesting things showed up in the data. Gibbs, Barkley, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, guys that can like win across 3 weeks. Josh Jacobs is definitely a guy. I kind of want to pull him up here. Ladd is super good though, coming on strong the end of last season. Let's stick with the ranks for now. Early on, it's between AJ Brown and Ladd. I'll throw it to Ladd. I'm going to have some faith in the ranks. I also think Ladd McConkey is very good. But in this format, I'm very tempted to take Josh Jacobs there. Or Bucky. Yeah, Anthony knew what was up. Sonny's got me. Hope you're having a great night, Pat. Thanks for stopping by, saying what up. What you guys got going on this weekend? I'm gonna be chilling, draft some teams, be going to the pool, getting out in the sun a little bit, cooling off by some water, some gym time, some family time, all the good stuff. I think as I've come on the stream, the brunch plans were canceled, so we'll have to make up some new brunch plans. But we had like a big brunch planned out with some friends, and I think it fell through with some sick kids, and you know how that goes. So we'll have to make some new weekend plans for that. Gibbs, McConkey. The running backs that I'd really want aren't there. I'm super tempted to... Why does Kyron go so late in this one? That doesn't make sense to me. Devontae Adams or Harrison. I was kind of tempted to go Lamar there too, but I'm going to trust the ranks and just keep building this team out. Gibbs, McConkey, Devontae Adams seems fine. Neal grabs Josh Allen. Jaden Daniels goes very early in this format, which is pretty smart though. Jaden Daniels had a great stretch at the end of last season, weeks 15 to 17. Came on really strong there. Wait, where was Hampton? Oh man, I thought I filtered it. I should have filtered it by running back. Hampton's at... Where's Hampton ranked in these? I don't know. I didn't even see him. I thought he was already off the board. I would have been very tempted to go Hampton there at pick 30. And then, yeah, I'm not surprised Kyron doesn't come back around. I guess I'm okay. I've got Gibbs and McConkey and Adams now, but I feel like I do need a running back before too long. Drafting the 12 spot, I mean, all he knows is high testosterone starts. Genty, Derrick Henry, Breece Hall, and James Cook. I think it's a little bit overkill. I probably would have stopped with Genty and Henry. Maybe you like one of Breece or Cook there also, but it's a little bit much. Alvin Kamara pick 39. That's incredible. Kamara definitely shows up in the data as a guy that can win, you know, across 3 weeks. So it makes some sense. Is Kittle worth it in this format? I think Hurts could be worth it too. I'm kind of tempted to bring up Hurts there. stick with the ranks. I'm going to go Worthy. Maybe Worthy comes on at the end of the next season and is just a guy. Pickens would have been nice. Part of me thinks Hurts maybe the best pick there. Also, Kittle. Or for some reason in this format, do I not want an elite tight end as much? It's hard to know. I guess the tight end scoring across the sprint format might be more replaceable. It's hard to know. I'd have to look in. I don't really know the answer to that. Probably not from like McBride or Bowers. Kittle at 48 seems like a good pick. Goes to Lol. Hot dogs. I'm trying not to like override the rankings so much. I do like the start Gibbs, McConkey, Adams, and Worthy. I'm just second guessing whether I should have grabbed Lamar Jackson at pick 30 or Hurts at 43 or even Kittle at 43. About to be back on the clock. Travis Hunter it is. I think that is smart though to get Travis Hunter there. A lot of late season upside. I'm definitely in on Travis Hunter. Oh, I know you're doing a sprint, but curious about your meta first strategy for the Eliminator. Starting 1-3-5-1 feels optimal and really leaning into drafting like you're right to me. Yeah, Elim. My goal, like I'm gonna definitely do more Elims. My goal is to finish Best Ball Mania, and then what I might do, depending. I mean, if the Elim could fill before Best Ball Mania fills, in that case, I might not get as much volume as I'd like. But what I kind of want to do is like finish Best Ball Mania, and then pivot and do like week 1 brain and draft a bunch of Elims, where the goal is to advance out of week 1, and then let fate take over. And so I think that's my main strategy. Balanced builds. Maybe a slightly bigger priority on putting a running back in your flex spot. And a little bit more conscious about bye weeks, trying to get buys that are later, week 14, week 12, slight preference, avoiding having too many buys too early. Well, I've got Gibbs here, so Montgomery does not seem like the best way to go, but Laporta is kind of interesting. Otherwise, I just like Addison a whole bunch. Pearsall's not bad either. I don't think I want to have Gibbs and Montgomery. That seems like not the optimal way. Okay, let's take Mixon goes 66 kind of early. I kind of want to go Laporta here. I'm gonna go Addison. Let me throw him in there. True kind of anchor RB, 1 running back, and then 5 wide receivers who can all spike really well for me in the playoffs. We've seen it from Worthy, Adams, McConkey, and Addison. Hunter, I mean, he's the first overall wide receiver taken in the NFL draft. I think he's going to be good. Heisman winner. Pretty sure he won the Biletnikoff too. And like among other trophies and awards. Pick 78. There's a chance the player I want is still there. And I got to think about my QB stacking partners too. Got 2 really obvious ones. And then kind of some nice mid to late ones too. I like this start. I was skeptical at first. I was worried I might not have gotten as strong at running back that I wanted to, but you know, Zig and Zag, everyone's taking running backs a bit earlier depending on the round. I've gotten a really nice wide receiver room, and I still have Gibbs up top, so it feels fine. Time to swing back around though and maybe make up some ground. Swift at 76, not bad. I'm back on the clock. I will go Pacheco here, here's to hoping he's healthy and all of that, and a bounce back season for him with some high utilization. Team stacking. We got Worthy and Pacheco. Ooh, I should have been looking though. Where'd the Reed drafter go? I mean, not Reed. Rashi Rice. Okay, Rashi Rice went on my left at pick 28. Pretty early, pretty decently early, but I guess in a sprint, you're really focused on those last 3 weeks. Still seems a bit early. Pick 28 though. So that's who I'm kind of thinking I'm competing against, if not just everyone else. For some quarterback options. Auto-picked Bajan. Well, I think Bajan's a great pick in this format, right? Should be fine. I might take Saquon ahead of him. Man, Mahomes goes to the 12th spot drafter. The guy who I knew was going to mess this up. Taking 4 straight running backs and then 3 receivers. He takes a completely unstacked Mahomes. Messes up my Mahomes stack there that I was building towards with both Worthy and Pacheco. So, bummer. But we'll move on to the next options. That's funny, Neil. Hawkinson's still there. Okay, I thought about taking Hawkinson my very last pick that I just had, so I'll grab Hawkinson there at 91. Team stack, Hawkinson, Jordan Mason. That's kind of fun. I like the playoff schedule for the Lions. I like the playoff schedule. I don't like it for the Chiefs, actually. I like it for the Chargers, for the Rams, for the Vikings. Some good playoff schedules, weeks 15 to 17 in this sprint draft. Yeah. I should have taken Kittle. I'm glad that I got Hawkinson at 91, but I should have grabbed Kittle at 43. Probably the move. Or Hurts. Hurts going to 51 is pretty nice too, I think. Yo, what's up, Steve? How we doing tonight? Good to see you, my friend. We're drafting a sprint, if you can believe it. We were able to fill this sprint and did 2 Best Ball Manias to start the stream. Got into this sprint draft. Feeling good. It's different. I actually I haven't done a sprint in a long time, but I've been doing some running back research to get just for all tournaments, and it kind of lended itself to the sprint nicely in some of the ways I was looking at 3-game slates and running backs' abilities to consistently score highly across any given 3 games in a season based on last year's stats. And so seen some different trends there I've been kind of using for my own research and purposes. And the running backs are flying at this point. I almost feel like I need to I feel like Kyler could be nice here. It's definitely time to start taking QBs. I don't have any Arizona pieces, but the rushing upside, and I mean, if he can get there, pretty good playoff stretch too. Houston. Well, that's not great. At Houston, pretty stout defense. Atlanta, their defense has been getting better. It's a home game in the Dome. And then at Cincinnati, maybe that's a fun game. Good matchup for them. Who else? Oh, but Steve, so I uploaded Meg's sprint ranks. So I'm using Meg's sprint ranks right now. Getting back after it in this one. It's been a while, like I said, since I've drafted the sprint. 7 picks away. I'm going to be at 115 and then 126. Really strong at wide receiver. Well, okay, I took Tyler Warren. I think I'll keep pushing it. At running back, I guess it's kind of insane. I don't love waiting this long to get my other running backs. I'm gonna have to hammer it because I'm gonna be looking to take Herbert or McCarthy or Lawrence with some of these next picks. So maybe I should have just taken a running back instead of Kyler Murray. I just didn't love the options there either. So I'm not going to force it. I'm going to take the positions. I'm going to take the players I like kind of regardless of the position available, even though I really need running back. It's been a running back desert in the middle of the board here. Every time I've needed one, except for Pacheco, who came back kind of nicely. I'm going to have to take a volume approach at running back, which I'm totally fine with because I think I'm going to keep slamming quarterback in this range. Yeah, Steve, you missed it by like 2 minutes. Nah, next time I'll tag you. I should have tagged you on Twitter or like DM'd you. My bad. We were trying to fill it. I joined it and it was like +3, so it filled pretty fast. I was surprised. And then Neil took pity on me and joined. Oh, Herbert goes. Bummer. Can't get him with Ladd now, but I think what I'll do is I'll take McCarthy here. I've got the double stack with Addison and Hawk. So McCarthy, who's been rising. It's been hard for me to get double stacks of McCarthy. I remember earlier in the summer you could get double stacks with McCarthy and you'd get him in the 140s. Now he's regularly going in the early 120s or even like the teens. I've seen McCarthy go. So that feels nice to get that stack. BBG wants to get in on another sprint. Might have to do it. I mean, this one's going pretty quick. Might be fun to do a second one too, because like this is just getting the feet wet. It's been a long time since I've done a sprint, and just thinking differently, seeing how the ADP is going. There are some differences. I kind of got caught behind the running back avalanche a little bit, but I have Gibbs, so I'm definitely anchored down. Through my first 12 picks, I have first 11 picks. 2-2-5-2 build. Murray, McCarthy double stacked, and Gibbs, Pacheco, McConkey, Adams, Worthy, Hunter, Addison, Hawkinson, Warren. There goes Trevor Lawrence, so I don't have access to him anymore. About to be back on the clock, and it's a tight end run, but I think I'm good at tight end. I'm going to pivot back to running back now. Either go Ray Davis or tank Bigsby Bigsby's kind of the guy of the hour. Benson could be there. Team correlation. This is pick 139. I think I prefer Ray Davis here, just like Meg's ranks would suggest. So let me do some Ray Davis, and then we'll figure out the other running backs. Kyler McCarthy, is that enough to stop at 2? Could be. They have been, yeah, BBG, they have been hard to fill. I've been trying to fill them kind of lately because I did some running back research last week, and I used what I did was like I segmented all of the running back stats or fantasy points from last season into 3-game slates. So like imagine you have week 15, 16, 17. I did that all the way down till you got weeks 1, 2, and 3. And so there's 15 of those slates. And then I looked at all the running back data across all of those 3-game stretches. And so I did it just for like some running back research in general. But I think it also is super handy on understanding which players can score really highly consistently across 3 weeks. And that is kind of what the sprint is. Garindo's fun. Any obvious picks here I should be thinking about? I like Algier. I'll go Algier. Garindo's fine. Algier's definitely a better running back. I'm so strong at wide receiver with Ladd, Adams, Worthy, and Hunter, and Addison. And now I'm starting to make up some ground at running back. Sampson, Blue, Bigsby, all guys I would have liked more than Algier, but I still draft a good amount of Algier. I'll take him there. Where is the Puka drafter? Puka drafter's over here at pick 8. Let's see what he does, if he takes Stafford or not. I think I can push Stafford if he doesn't take him. JJ McCarthy is the play. Yeah, JJ McCarthy's a stud. He's going to be good. He's got to be good. KOC offense. The weapons around him, the offensive line. Okay. Seems like Braylon Allen to me. I also think Thielen would be very good. I don't know if I love the playoff weeks for Braylon Allen, but it did seem like a nice tier break at running back to consider there, at least somewhat. I probably like Ford just as much, if not better, but let me trust the ranks. Let me stick with it. And most likely I'm going to come back around to, well, there goes Stafford. Whoops. Who did Neil take Stafford with? He just needed a QB2. I bet that's what it was. Oh, he had Stroud. Interesting. Interesting. Wow, he really waited a while to get his first receiver with Smith, Godwin, Shakir, Higgins, Coleman, making up some ground there. Ford goes. Okay, I've got a 2-5-5-2 build. QBs, I think I know who I want. Thielen is there. Jonnu's also not bad. Kyler Murray, JJ McCarthy, or Anthony Richardson. Yeah, and I've got Tyler Warren too, so. So got to do it. We've been seeing Richardson going higher and higher tonight. He's fun for this format. Oh, Chris is down for a sprint. Okay. How you doing tonight, Chris? Hope you're having a good Thursday night. Getting some players to fall to you in your drafts. We're feeling pretty good. This is the third draft. It's the 2 best ball manias, now the sprint. Did you do a sprint? I think we're going to do another sprint after this. Pacheco could be good. Could be a nice pick there. Let's make it. Let's go, Billy. Sure, Neil. Sure you do. That's all right. I like Anthony Richardson. That works for me. And then boom, I could do Thielen. I think I elevate Pierce on this one. Like, needless to say, ADP 184. So I think, yeah, even though Thielen's still there, and I really like Thielen, I'm gonna go with Pierce because of the stack with Richardson and Warren and the team stack. So now I've got 3, 5, 6, 2, and I feel like I've got all luxury picks on this one. I don't need any more QBs. Probably take another tight end to go with Hawkinson and Warren, or I could just stop at 2. And I think running back, let me check. So I've got a 3, 5, 6, 2, like I said. Running back wise, just go for upside, take some rookies, I think. Continue to team stack the Colts. Giddens would be there. I don't know how much. I don't really like Shipley that much. Oh, Giddens goes. Taj Brooks could be fun. Gesicki falling. I think he's nice. Even with the Noah Fant news. Oh, Gesicki goes. All right, well. Jarquez. Either him or wide receiver wise, I could get. I don't know. I'm going to go Hunter. Get the 6th running back, a guy that I just like a bunch of. You saw my exposure. Practically a third of my teams. Not really, like almost 30%, but a bunch of my teams. And I probably should change this to all tournaments. That would make it even better than just looking at Best Ball Mania exposures. But I'm very in on Hunter. One pick left to make for me in this sprint draft. I'm thinking tight end unless there's no one I like. Kyler, JJ McCarthy, Anthony Richardson, Gibbs, Pacheco, Ray Davis, Algier, Braylon Allen, and Jarquez Hunter. Wide receiver, I've got McConkey, Adams, Worthy, and Hunter. So I'm holding it down with my top 4. Addison and Alec Pierce. Feels very strong. I want someone to hit my flex, though. So I'm going to stick with the 2 tight ends. I'm going to go for a flex player. I'm going to go for a running back or a receiver that I think could hit my flex during the sprint. Should we throw in the Isaac Tesla? Probably not. Adonai Mitchell seems like a smash player to stack up with Anthony Richardson, because I don't have to be right about Pierce or Mitchell. I'll just take both of them. And then, like I said, I'm looking for someone to hit my flex, so I need a big play or some touchdowns from Mitchell or Pierce. Could be a fun way to play it with Richardson. Nice. Double stack McCarthy, triple stacked Richardson, which I normally wouldn't do, but I'm just looking for a way to... Maybe Richardson has a huge rushing game and then still one of his pieces gets there. Kyler should give me a really nice another option. So 3-6-7-2. The only thing I would worry about is maybe I need a third tight end there. But I'm hopeful that Warren can be a guy and Hawkinson is good and fully healed. Fun team. The betrayal. No, it's fine. Everyone's got to draft their own teams. Stafford at 174 would be insane. You know, I feel really bad, Neil, because there was a draft I saw and I couldn't take Stafford. I didn't have a way to connect him. I guess I technically could have backstacked him, but I think I honestly had 3 quarterbacks at the time. But it was, I want to say it was a Best Ball Mania, and it was the same day or day after we heard more about this Stafford back injury in news. People were really afraid. Earlier this week, right? And so Stafford went like pick 190 in a Best Ball Mania that I saw. Insane. And the guy who had, I'm pretty sure the guy who had Puka passed on him like twice. Well past ADP. Backstab option. Yeah, hilarious. That is a lot of Jarquez. Yeah, my most drafted player, Jarquez Hunter. I just think he's good. He was first all-team SEC last year for Auburn. Had a really good career there. Explosive player. Big playability. He's going to be the lightning behind Kyron Williams Thunder. People will tell you that Sean McVay, he only ever uses one running back. Until he doesn't. Maybe he uses 2 this year. Maybe Jarquez carves out a role. They've been talking, hinting at wanting to have a dynamic backfield, and I think the league is moving to more of like a 2 running back system. It's really hard to get away with using just one running back the way the Rams have used Kyron over the last few seasons, and the injury risk of using a guy that much. I think the Rams are good offense. So I'm definitely really high on Hunter, but I probably take him too often. But this is my third sprint draft ever. So let me get some of my favorite guy in this one, especially on a team where I anchored down at running back and want to get him late. Plus, I love the Week 17 matchup. I love the playoff stretch for the Rams. I love the Week 17 matchup in Atlanta. And I already had Devontae Adams on this squad. So a little bit of a team stack for the Rams, too. Doesn't hurt. Nice. Let's get right back into another sprint. Let's see if we can fill another sprint draft. It'd be rare. I'll put out the bat signal. I know BBG wanted to get in. I'll DM him to make sure if he's ready. Let me just peek in there. Also, let's take a look at Neil's team real quick. 3-6-7-2. Allen, Stroud, Stafford. Strong QB. Bajan, Ken Walker, Dobbins, Sampson, Blue, Chubb. I like the running back room. Very strong. Some good rookies, too. I love Sampson, love Blue. You waited a while for wide receiver. It's kind of interesting. Smith, Godwin, Shakir, but then stacked up heavily with like Shakir, Higgins, Coleman, Knoll, and Tutu. So Tutu over Jay Witt. I've gone back and forth. I think I like Jay Witt better, but Tutu definitely has, I think, a more obvious role. And then McBride and Waller. Wow. Waller with the last pick. Very interesting. People like were in on Waller when he signed and they're out on him, but then Fant doesn't go there. So people are, I don't know. Maybe it's Waller's to lock up. Waller goes on the pup. They said it's precautionary. Trey McBride's the focal point there, though. So really interesting wide receiver room. Super strong everywhere else. I like it. It's a fun way to play it. And then attack wide receiver with stacked depth options. You got Josh Allen. This time he's out for real. Yeah, Neil. Appreciate you joining, my friend. Thanks for being here, too. Thanks for sniping my Matt Stafford. BBG's ready. Okay, we're going to peek over there into the sprint. Let's jump in. We're ready. Wish us luck. Yeah. Oh, you like Higbee late, too. I've been taking more Ferguson. That's exactly what I was thinking too. Yeah, with the fan. All right, BBG, I'm entering it now. I'll put it in the chat. I'm sure if you're just sitting in there already, there's no chance that it filled anyways, because how slow these things fill, but maybe we can time it up. Waiting on 5. Perfect. I'll put out the bat signal on Twitter. Okay, tweeted it out. Could have tagged some people, completely forgot, but maybe they'll just see it. Maybe not. We got BBG in the draft. Let's go. Waiting on 4. Waiting on 3. Nice. The Discords are alive. I already had shouted it out into the Pounders Discord earlier as we were trying to fill the other one. This one's going to fill. I'm going to keep tabs on it on my phone. I'm going to be right back. Make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for being here with me on this Thursday night, guys. Hope you're having a great week. Let me get some more water, and I'll be back in 2 seconds. I've got it on my phone in case it fills. Hey. Yeah, Crispy's definitely in on Hampton. I think Hampton, all formats, could be a great pick. We did a bunch of polls tonight, and Hampton was the runaway winner, above Breece Hall, above Kyron Williams. So we're going to see Hampton continue to rise. He's been a riser this week. It's going to continue. I'll be right back. Catch y'all in a minute. We're going to draft this sprint. Waiting on 3. BBG, put out a signal. Hit up the Discord. Try to get this thing filled. I'll be right back. BBG, what's going on? We're still waiting on 3? Man, we gotta... Oh no, 4 to start. Is that for real? Did someone drop out? Waiting on 3, waiting on 4? Oh my gosh. You're right, these things are impossible to fill. Okay. Well, I put it on Twitter, but I didn't tag anyone. Okay, good. Somehow doing all of that, we lost a person. Oh. Okay, let me go back to the Discords. No, it's probably because it's just that is what it is. It's hard to fill these sprints. Let's see if we can fill it. I'm still holding out hope. Where did who else wanted to get in? Chris wanted to get in. Chris, come to a sprint. We're messaging from you. We're messaging you from the other side. Oh hell yeah, Jeff Johnson's in. Let's go, brother. Get in these streets. Chris is saying about Hampton's ADP. Yeah, how high can he go? How high can Hampton go? I've seen him go at the 2-3 turn in Best Ball Mania drafts. He's been going pretty high, right? I think he can settle in right after the Chase Brown tier. So maybe his ADP climbs to about 28, 27. I think is fair. Pretty aggressive though. So as we're waiting on 4 more to fill this sprint. Okay, sweet. Chris is here. He's in. Yes, sir. Jeff Johnson sprint on underdog. Yes, sir. Come get in. Come get in here. If you want to draft with us. BBG just got a Reed Golden at 7-8 turn to Best Ball Mania. The normies are here. I love that. It's been a while. Bindles and I did one of those on a stream a while ago where, oh no, you got it at 7-8? That's insane. Bindles and I did it at the 6-7 with a Jamar Chase team, and then we didn't get Burrow, so we took Love. Getting it at the 7-8, that's incredible. But I have noticed that like Reed and Golden, their ADPs are both around 78, so they're kind of falling a little bit, but that's a great fall on both of them. I'm jealous of that. And I have been seeing more unstacked quarterbacks going in drafts, I will say. Like, I've seen Mahomes, McCarthy, among others, Stafford going unstacked. Craziness. Sweet. Okay, Jeff's in. Sounds good, my friend. Yo, what up, Diego? What are the Chargers players that flashed in the game? You know, there's Keandre Lambert-Smith is a name to keep an eye on. People are talking about. People have been mentioning him for a while. He's looked pretty good, I guess, in Chargers training camp in the last week plus. I think he's a depth piece for them. He's a special teamer for them. We can look more into his stats as we're waiting for this underdog sprint draft to fill. We still need 3 more. Let's look up Keandre. He went to Auburn. He's 23. He's got good size and speed. Not the most impressive college dominator or target share, but not terrible. The breakout age, a little bit on the older side, not super athletic overall. Nice stats at Auburn. I do remember people talking about him going to Penn State and respectable stats there, but a really nice year at Auburn here as looks like a junior year. Some big TD numbers and receiving yards. Some nice on only 50 catches, 82 targets, so decent. I guess they want him, as a depth piece with Mike Williams retiring. Maybe he factors in, maybe he competes for snaps behind Quentin Johnston in X, or even Trey Harris, I guess, playing in the Y or in the Z. Oh, sweet. Waiting on 2 more. Okay, we're doing good. Yo, what up, Green Bean? Sprint +2. So yeah, and then Diego, I also saw that Kamani Vidal was getting some touches. I think he had 1, if not 2 touchdowns. He's a depth piece for them. I think he's firmly their RB3, but if worst case scenario, Najee Harris is missing time or just not ready to go, I think he's their RB2 behind Hampton. And maybe that's a valuable spot to be in. But I've got Vidal in Dynasty. I'm not drafting him in best ball just yet. I've heard people mention it though. Green Bean just finished his elim. Yes, sir. We're trying to fill a sprint. We got 2 more to go. Hop in if you're interested. Did Trey Harris get any snaps? I think they sat Trey Harris. I was actually watching my friend's best ball stream. There's this guy out there. You may have heard of him, the best ball guy. He was actually streaming with the world famous Best Ball Mania 2 champ Chess Liam earlier tonight. So I had that on my phone and I was listening, lurking, and then I was putting my kids down, and then I just caught. I had the Hall of Fame game on pre-game, and then I had it on randomly in the first quarter, and I was checking the box score because I started streaming. It was still live. So let me go back and look at the box score. I don't think I missed too much since then. Yeah, it looks like the 2 catches by Tesla was it. Lambert Smith got his touchdown. We saw his catch and then the touchdown. Vidal did have 2 touchdowns. I think Hampton had 2 snaps. I don't know if we saw Disley touchdown. Dicker, the kicker, had a bunch of nice kicks. I don't know if Trey Harris played any snaps. I wasn't watching close enough to catch that, but he didn't have any. I don't think he had any targets or catches. No, he did have 1 target. So it looks like Trey Harris might have played that first drive that Hampton was in on. But I wouldn't expect to see much in the first preseason game, super preseason game. The fact that Hampton even touched the ball was kind of fine, interesting, surprising, but not a lot of big takeaways yet, Diego. And a lot of the things we saw pop, you'll see Isaac Tesla talked about, or Lambert Smith, or even Vidal. Those are very deep options, especially for an 18-round best ball. If it would be financially irresponsible of me, I totally open up that UD account finally and join the sprint. I know you'll feel it though. Billy. One of these days. But I'm glad you're here. You can help me draft this team. I need all the help I can get. The room's getting sharper by the minute. It's only my fourth sprint draft of this season. I've tried to fill some sprint rooms. This is kind of how it goes. They're hard to fill. I think we're going to do it, though. Who's my team, Diego? So I live in Houston, born and raised. in Houston. And so my team, though, my real team are the Longhorns. I'm definitely Longhorn. I'm an orange blood. I'm diehard Longhorn fan. And Texas X alumnus, but my NFL team have to go with the Texans. I'm repping right now. I got my 2023 draft day snapback. This is the same one they gave to Will Anderson and CJ Stroud when they got drafted in the glorious 2023 NFL draft for the Texans. My favorite Texans draft they've ever had, practically. I mean, you could argue JJ Watt back in, what was that? 2010, I think we got Watt. Was a nice surprise. I thought Jadeveon Clowney was going to be good for a while there. A lot of hype. Didn't really live up to it. He's fine. You could argue Andre Johnson, best draft pick the Texans ever made. But yeah, I root for the Texans. And I draft a lot of best ball teams. So I try to stay on top of most of the NFL news and like roster movements, depth charts. Stay sharp with the player takes. What about you, Diego? Who is your team? Who are you repping? Who you like to follow? Neil was not even aware. Yeah, BBG had Liam on. But Neil, I don't know how I forgot. I think it's because it's not Wednesday. I forgot to mention your victory in Best Ball Jeopardy. I was there. I was also listening to Best Ball Jeopardy. I have to go back and rewatch the beginning because I didn't see how Nez got his fast start and then you crushed him. But I did catch the end. Apparently, there's some nice bye-week math on your part, so I'm very proud. And yeah, congrats on the victory in Jeopardy. Looking forward, maybe we'll face off in the semifinals. We'll see. I'm in the semifinals. I think you're the second person in the semifinals. There's a few more weeks to go. It's a fun time. Oh, Crispy was watching Trey Lance. Yeah, that was fun to see Trey Lance, right? I think crazy kind of his bust and then fall out, and like now he's trying to be a backup in the league. Very interesting. Okay. So Trey Harris was out there, confirmed by Chris B, and the Chargers get the big win. A lot of turnovers for the Lions, is what I saw at least. If Trey Lance was a starter, what could have been, right? Float cover, what's up? Harris played like the whole first half. Did he really? That's interesting. I only saw he had one target, so I wasn't watching close enough to know what was going on. I mean, Trey Harris playing with the backups. I don't think there's much to like learn from the Hall of Fame game. Not too much. Yeah, the one target. I could see it both ways. BBG, would they risk Hampton? At the end of the day, I feel like as viewers, as like fantasy players, we always think like, oh, why would they risk that? Why would they risk this? You know, Chris Godwin got injured when the game was won. It was the very end of the game. There was no way the Bucs could lose. If I'm remembering correctly, just off the top of my head. And then Godwin gets his ankle torn up. So like the whole idea of like not playing to like save the guys and like avoid the risk, I think it's a little bit overthought by some of us sometimes. Wasn't it Joe Burrow who was saying he was going to play more preseason games and more snaps? Like people are starting to think about that just because they want to get ramped up in some game time action. So think getting the rookies some snaps, at least letting them line up in the formations and like get the game flow can be helpful. I have no idea. I know nothing. I'm not a ball knower. I am a spreadsheet virgin. Speaking of, there was the annual Man vs. Machine ETR podcast today. So funny. Levitan was the referee. Silva, the Man, versus Leone, the Machine. I think I've watched I almost watched the whole thing. There's still some left, but classic bit. That's an interesting point, though, BBG. Like, maybe they do truly expect Najee back. Maybe we're overblowing the whole eye injury thing. It's hard to know. Yo, what up, TX Politics? True. Some degen behavior to the max. Yeah, what up? GM. Appreciate you being here. I think people don't love the format as much, and then it's a $20 entry, and so it's not like super low either. But 55,000. I guess people just don't like the format of the sprint. I guess that's what it comes down to. The payout's pretty nice, though. But it's nowhere near as big as Best Ball Mania. Best Ball Mania is just more attractive because of the large payout. I guess that's part of it. And they've built it up, over the last 6 years. The sprint is newer, and so maybe it'll get larger and larger, but it seems like a less popular format for sure than like some of the other options. I'm surprised the Eliminator, weekly winners, all of those things are filling much faster than the sprint even. Herbert, so Chargers fan, very nice, very nice. Yeah, I think Stroud's good. I think he's good enough. It's all about finding the franchise quarterback and then building around them when they're still young. And I think the Texans are trying to do that. So I'm optimistic. Yeah, Arian Foster, another thick, Texans player, incredibly good for fantasy back in the day. Back in the early, that's like 2009, 10, 11. Peak Arian Foster. Maybe just a couple years after that, actually, because there was like Ron Dane for a year in there. Colts fan, says Jeff. Still hurting over that draft. Maybe it's Anthony Richardson's year. We'll see. Or Jeff, are you in with Anthony Richardson, or would you rather have them start Danny Dimes? Yes, Chris B, CB Jets fan. Very respectable Jets fan. My favorite Jets fan. Well, yeah. Yep, definitely. Yep. BBG, notorious Jets fan. Ron Stewart, who was on, if you guys missed that video, the Ballsy show on Monday. Bindles and I had Ron Stewart on. Super fun time. The guy is hilarious. Really good player takes too. And he's been putting out a lot of great content for years, but he put out some more videos this week. So go check out Ron's videos, his redraft strategy. I think he's put out 2 videos in the last couple days. I think the one he put out today was really sharp too. He pretty much just talked about his favorite sleeper picks on the season and their underdog ADPs and their game situation and what why you might want to take some of those players in your home leagues and your redraft leagues, and then where and how to think about it. So just a guy constantly thinks about football and fantasy football. But check that Ballsy episode out too if you haven't seen it already. Throw a like on it, throw a comment on it for me, and put it in the watch list. Jeff wanted Stroud after watching him during the combine. Yeah. Some people say it's like, oh, Ohio State quarterbacks can't be good. I don't know. There's some decent ones. Still +2, waiting on 2 people for this sprint draft. Let me see what I can do. Let's repost PBG's Twitter. Who's awake? Yes. Oh, BBG's proclaiming he's won Best Ball Mania 6. Of course, it's his draft he did with Chess Liam. Make sure you check out BBG's draft that he did earlier tonight with Liam Murphy, the winner of Best Ball Mania 2. It's a great show. Great interview up front, too. Really fun. And then solid draft, I would say. Yeah. I don't know if that's a different team. Starting with J-Mo and Jalen Waddle and Addison and Pearsall as your wide receivers. Going pretty heavy with the 3 running back start, and then the hyper fragile with only 4, taking JCM, aka Bill. I like it. Still waiting on 2 though. I can't believe it. Yeah, Neil got his W in Best Ball Jeopardy. Check out that show too. Throw it in the queue. Put it on the watch list. The Fanspeak Network and the Best Ball Jeopardy shows. It's mostly on Wednesday nights. Tonight was on Thursday, of course, but Neil took down Nez. Spoiler alert. Go see how it happened. Yeah, Anthony Richardson. Hey, at least you didn't get Will Levis. Oh my gosh. Trey Harris would have been fun. Yeah, I wouldn't draw too much from it. I didn't realize I was so far behind in the chat. Whoops. Yeah, I was talking about that. BBG's Jets fan. Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. I think he stays. I think Terry McLaurin stays in Washington. We'll see. I'm pretty sure he stays. If he leaves, it's a definite landing spot for Keenan Allen, though, right? Best Ball Mania. Yo, what up, Kramer? This is a sprint. We're now waiting on 4. We had 2 people drop out. We were +2 for a minute there, but it's a sprint draft. Yeah, Billy, so with the sprint, it's 18 rounds, same position limits, 2 out of 12 advance, but then, no, this is good. I appreciate the question. This is good. 55,000 people, so smaller, much smaller than Best Ball Mania. Once you advance your 2 out of 12, you're competing against 9,000 people. So everyone who advances out of their 2 out of 12 pods, those 9,300 people end up in a sprint between weeks 15 to 17. And so your score it accumulates between the 3 weeks. And instead of being like Best Ball Mania, where you keep advancing and the pods keep changing, it's one big playoff sprint. And everyone tries to have the highest score in total between those 3 weeks, 15 to 17. So some people, I guess, just don't like that format. I think it's really fun. It gets rid of the pod luck aspect of the other tournaments like Best Ball Mania, where you have to continually advance out of small pods. It's different. The strategy is slightly different. The team that will win the sprint will have different players than the team that wins Best Ball Mania, but there probably will be some common themes, some common teams, and common stacks, usually. Because week 17 still counts for a third of the sprint final score, so it matters a lot, but it doesn't matter as much in the sprint comparatively in Best Ball Mania, Week 17 is all that matters. But at the same time, you do have to get there. Yeah, I don't know where McLaurin would go. You want to give Danny Dimes his chance. Some might say he had his chance in New York. Couldn't live up to the expectations. I know, BBG. We're getting so close. We keep adding more people, and then the people who aren't hanging with us are rotating out. We've been +2, +4, +2, +4. Incredible. Yeah, that's sensible. We'll try to fill it. We'll try to fill it in the next couple minutes. If not, that's how it goes. It's an interesting format. I guess the whole point, Billy, is that you eliminate the pod luck aspect of it. And then it also competes, I believe, with drafters, which... No, drafters is a marathon scoring, isn't it? Who else does sprints? I guess just there's just another format that's commonly used. I know the FFPC uses the sprint format. So in some of their tournaments, once you advance out of your league or your pod, you get into a sprint against all the playoff teams. It's interesting. It's another fun thing to think about, strategy-wise, the whole game theory of how to win in a sprint versus a Week 17 a tournament with more of a focus on Week 17 scoring. Can we fill it? BBG, should we call it? Man, we were so close. Yeah. We'll get it next time. No worries. No, I appreciate you trying to. Feel bad now. We have I think Jeff's in here and Chris is in here too. We're going to have to fill it next time, guys. We'll have to get into this another time. We tried our best. We pretty much waited as long as it would take to draft the whole thing, but we got one sprint in. We'll have to get Steve in. Steve wanted to get one in. We'll get Steve in the next one. We'll get BBG in this next one. I'm going to leave the draft. Sorry, guys. Good luck filling it. These sprint drafts, no wonder it's still so not so far along. I mean, the marathon's not too far along either. Kind of surprising. I've done slightly more marathons. Interesting stuff. We'll call it on that one. We did 3 drafts tonight. 2 Best Ball Manias, a sprint. We got one sprint in at least. We talked a little bit about the Hall of Fame game, and we'll be drafting more Best Ball Manias real soon. Getting into more drafts, doing another sprint soon. Appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you slap the like on your way out. Leave a comment afterwards, if you will, and let me know, because we did a bunch of voting tonight. We had the Twitter vote, the YouTube post vote, and the YouTube chat vote. It looks like Omarion Hampton over Brees and over Kyron, but let me know in the comment afterwards who you're taking. Are you taking Hampton? Are you taking Kyron? Are you taking Brees? If you have one pick and you need a running back in the 3rd round, and I'll catch y'all in another draft real soon. Everyone have a great Thursday night and get ready for a fun weekend. It's best ball summer, and it's almost August. Tomorrow's August. We're getting into peak fantasy football season. It's only up from here. See y'all next time. Peace.